friend of mine, that step I said, a friend of mine does this for Humberside, and he was like, "Hey, that's a really good flight plan, but if you want to be realistic, you should leave at this place because this is where we get clearance." And so I was like, "Okay," and then I spent an hour planning the flight.
So we're going live and traffic off and multiplayer off.
Everything's live.
Okay.
Everything's left-hand column.
What gate are you at?
2 Sierra. And to join, I am.
Can you PM me your Navigraph username?
Sure. Else, please.
Thank you.
Got it open up.
Hello.
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 Oh, no, I'll need.
I'm starting your controls as we speak.
Soft CRJ camel setting. What is it? Cloud P2P.
You just start a cloud server. Yes, just literally hit start server and then give me the connection thing.
And
I am connected.
cold and dark, nothing on. Set the cabin flow. Oh, and the flight.
Yeah, I just turned my EFB on.
It's fine. You switched mine on as well.
Okay. I'm gonna move over to the other seat.
Comfortable.
Still need to do some Navigraph stuff so I can get charts.
Roger, Roger. You want me to send you like the text route or
Root? I'm just gonna import it from your SimBrief. If you give me your SimBrief username.
I'd send you in a DM. Oh, no, it's not the it's the code, isn't it?
No, I need your username. Your literal username.
It's in your DMs.
That way. Oh, you filed the back flight plan as last flight plan?
No, there should be EDN. There should be the Humberside to Muenster one. That's the latest flight. Yeah, my flight plan is currently ENJ. Currently rain. And tell looked out window.
Okay. Well, let's get this party started.
Righty. Checklist.
First checklist. Cockpit preparation, parking brake.
That.
Landing gear down.
That.
Check. EFB on, passenger cargo fuel set, and no, we're not using ground power.
Go with 4473. Fine for that. Reload and set.
Can we please double check payload and simulator?
Do that.
I am.
Yeah. My fuel.
I'm reading 34019 max takeoff weight and
Yes.
a total takeoff weight of 30076.
Yes, yes. Off.
Ah, we're gonna be fine. Okay, battery switch on.
Switch on. Battery switch on.
There we are. Generator, all 3 switches to auto.
Set.
Nav lights on, logo lights on.
Have logo set.
ISO switch open.
ISO. What?
It's on the overhead ISOs. Yeah. APU power switch to on, and then APU start once we get the flap open.
We're indicating open and starting.
I am not getting APU indications.
I've got APU and EGT rising.
Not even on the APU page.
Oh, I've got power. Yes, no, maybe.
No power.
Let's restart just in case there was some weirdness between join not. Because for some reason it joined me hot, but I did hit the on that.
Ooh! I just died because you left.
Gotcha.
To Sierra.
Sierra.
CRJ-700.
Yes, yes. Panzer.
Lufthansa.
Not that that makes a difference. Well, it makes some difference. Instead of having a chavvy flight hostess, it started me hot again.
Go to your EFB and check that you're actually set to cold and dark.
Default state ready for startup. Cold and dark. Ah, okay. Default state.
Do you have any switches in the on position?
No. Default state is now cold and dark. I'm gonna.
Okay, I died again. We should disconnect. I'm disconnecting the server here for.
I just start another one just to be safe.
Nope. I mean, you can do it.
Server.
Make sure your update rate is at 60.
Update rate is set 60. Connection timeout 3. Username Gordon.
Save settings at the bottom.
Yeah. Those were the defaults, and I'm code.
Yeah, hit fly. Don't touch anything.
Hands on my head, not touching it.
I am now connected.
Fine. Yeah, I'm cold and dark. Switch the FB on.
Yep.
Happy with that?
Yeah, I'm happy with it.
Okay. Start again.
And let's go through that stuff again. Parking brake set, landing gear down. EFB set performance page, set packs, cargo fuel.
Right. Okay. Payloading. Copy. Cool.
Okay, let's double check payload. 30076.
Stand by.
Total.
3076 34019.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, can you take away the wheel chocks, please?
Craft. Wheel chocks are removed.
Okay, got the rear trucks removed on my screen as well.
Cool.
Okay, battery switch on.
Battery on.
Generators auto.
That.
Nav lights on, logo lights on.
Have. That.
ISO switch open.
Open.
APU power fuse switch on.
Button.
Stand by before you click anything else.
Thing.
Reading door closed. Door open. APU start, stop, start.
Starting.
And IRS to nav.
RPM and EG. IRS.
Yeah.
IRS is in nav on both.
Very good. Cockpit preparations complete for now. Or to power then FMS setup.
Cool.
Want me to punch in the flight plan while you continue
please.
the rest of the checklist?
Up. FMS setup. Cool. Got quick prep residue. Have power.
Yeah. I'm gonna work on in it.
On. Max. On. On. Both. Armed. Squid. Skiddy. Armed. Sink. On. Spoiler. Ground lift switch. Auto. This is left and right. Armed. It's as required. No. Backup call. Standby. Stab. And Mac. I'm at engine start.
Give a, can you go and get a weather or something from here? Like ATIS?
Yes, standby. Egan.
Don't we have a star at this?
A what?
I don't think we have a star planned, have we? Is there stars for this airport?
Not for departure.
SID. I mean SID.
No idea. There are no star charts or there are no SID charts either. It's
Okay.
tiny.
So we're just gonna direct to first waypoint then. Direct Akupa, then Django 420. Papa 166. To Bantu.
Humberside Airport Information Uniform 1700 Zulu. Wind 202 at 25. Visibility, tree. Sky condition, ceiling 1,000 feet overcast. Temperature, 14. Dew point, 10. QNH 29er decimal 80. ILS runway 20 in use. Landing at departing runway 20. All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact. You have uniform.
Okay, I've got it written down. Ready when you are if you need.
Just give me the quick.
Wind 202 at 25.
Anything else like
Yeah,
temperature?
temperature is 14 degrees, dew point 10, and QNH is 29.8. 9 point. I found out today, you know the white and gold balls under the whiskey compass? I found out what they are for.
Yes.
Same as in the Airbus.
Well, I didn't know what they were for in the Airbus. But now I know, because I am learning. Every day in every way, I get slightly better. Thank God I know the important things, like dangly balls.
Okay, flight plan is in for performance stuff. Let's double check that actually. I'm gonna go to the performance page. Where's the performance page? Arrival, hold, next page. No. Fix max. Perf. Perf init. Cruise altitude is gonna be. Need to advance the page here. What you?
Higher engine. Oxy.
What did you file us for in terms of altitude?
When I just let it figure itself out.
Flight level 330. Yep. Gonna hit clear. Perf. Perf init. Flight level 330. Can you go to the performance tab and copy the performance data into the FMS?
Copy perf data. Yes, I pressed it.
Okay, I need to press it as well. That looks good. Fuel 4473.
Yes, yes.
Oh, we allowed some luggage, 488 kilograms.
Yes, I set that to auto. I decided we wouldn't be that much of a budget carrier. You're only allowed to get on our plane if you're wearing loose shorts and a loose t-shirt. Gotta save the weight somehow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Okay, that's FMS setup done as far as I can tell.
copying over the V speeds while we're here.
Oh yeah, I will have to do that as well. We have wet conditions. Just look at runway conditions and hit a wet before
Wet.
you do that.
Done. Set all. Set all.
Set all and set all.
Cool.
Yeah, FMS setup is done. We can go to
Do the engine start.
engine start. Okay, doors closed, wheel chocks removed, ground power and ground air never connected in the first place. Passenger signs on, fuel boost pumps left and right on.
Passenger signs to on. Bumps on.
Pushback clearance and start clearance, we have that, I assume.
Yep.
Beacon light on, then engine number 2 start.
Unit number 2. I'm gonna go with right engine for engine number 2. Start. Rising.
Fuel.
Idle fuel. Rising. Nope. Yeah, there we go. Cool.
There goes ignition, oil pressures, climbing.
Everything's Everything's stabilized. Starting.
Start engine number 2. Or the second one.
Yeah. The second one. Engine 1. Wait, what? Rising.
Twenty on then 2. Did you put windshield wipers on?
Yes.
Very nice.
N2. Engines in idle, and N1 is coming up. And ignition. Cool.
Engine number 2 is stable. Very nice. After start checklist, probes left hand, right hand on. As that's on my side. Oh, thank you very much. Anti-eyes. What's temperatures? I don't think we need
14
anti-eyes.
2.10.
We're not gonna need it now.
Cool.
Taxi light on. APU start stop to stop.
That.
Power fuse switch to off.
That.
Landing elevation is basically at sea level, so we're not gonna mess with it. Flaps 8. I'm gonna set that.
That.
Ooh. Set.
Oh, I thought I'd done that.
And indicating. Yeah, my flap switch was forward, so it was pulling it right back up.
Alright, okay. Perhaps indicating 8.
Yeah. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, autopilot. Altitude and runway heading. I think we're gonna. What's.
100. Yours indicating 200.
Stand by. My. What? Where do you see heading indicating?
You just. Oh, can you see it now, below?
It's right east for me. Direct east.
Huh. Well, mine's set.
That's fine. It's your thing then. And altitude, I'd suggest 8,000 for initial. We don't have a clearance, so.
8,000.
I have an idea how we can sync up the heading. Once we get to the runway, we press the heading to current course.
Yes, that works.
Yeah. Okay. Look. Altimeter set local.
29.80. Oh, my,
Can we get, like, instrument lights somewhere here?
Do what you need to do.
That's floodlight. That's not what I want. Where is my instrument lights?
Altimeter
it is.
set on my side.
Standby. 29er what?
29.8, or 1,000 and... Ah.
Yeah. Set.
You
Okay.
use hectopascals in Europe.
Yes. Have a button
But
for
we're using MSFS ATIS, so.
that. I have a button that switches to. But anyway, carry on.
Yes, altimeter set and checked. V-speed set, trim set for takeoff.
Trim is asking for 7.2. We are indicating 5. 2 set.
Yeah, standby one. Yeah. Nose steering armed, and then ready. We're ready for taxi.
Steering is now armed. taxi.
What about your taxi lights?
What? They're here. They're on.
Taxi lights. I don't see anything. I turned on the nose landing light personally. I don't know if that's what they actually do or not, but
Also,
holy crap, there's like
welcome.
you can't see anything with the normal ones.
Also, welcome, Desert Fox. Your mic sounded like you were stood behind me in the cockpit. I was like, this CRJ is really good.
Who invited the flight instructor to this?
Like, hey, do you want a cup of coffee? Also, taxi lights. Okay, cool. So nose lights, that's fine. That's not a bad shout actually in these. Hi, AJ as well.
So taxi to 22, are we?
Taxi to 20, yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna go out forward, then Alpha, and then down runway. Oh, 20. Oh, that's easy. Left behind this terminal building, and then Charlie to 20.
Roger, I see it. Yep. Okay, cool. I'm ready to go. I'm just going to adjust the brightness on the EFB.
Good.
Cool. Okay, I'm ready. Parking brake release. Try not to kill them. These guys. Actually.
They had it coming.
They did. I know some. Charlie is an inappropriate taxiway for this jet.
What?
I don't think there is such thing.
Taxiway.
Alright. YOLO.
It's not the taxiway.
Wait. That's
stop.
white lines. Don't go to white lines.
Charlie taxiway
That is not Charlie taxiway.
is according to my chart.
Okay, we're just taking Bravo then.
Cool.
Come right and take Bravo.
Charlie's usually what the helicopter.
Oh. Yeah, it's going right into the rapid lights, so
Yes.
never mind. I'm good at this.
Charlie is the taxiway for the helicopters. Ergo, it only needs to be fucking 1 meter wide. They don't actually touch the ground.
This is gonna be it, is it?
Bravo. It's not a handmade airfield, and therefore the
This is the runway. Okay, perfect. Okay, landing lights are coming on. All of them. Is down on?
Yes, down is
okay.
on set.
Strobe to on.
On.
Beacon logo taxi is on.
Set.
Fuel crossflow auto set. Transponder on and set. TCAS on and set. NTI is not required. Autopilot heading alt. We're gonna set heading on the runway. AP source check TOFMS.
AP source says
Check
FMS1.
Perfect. CAS no warnings besides the ones we were expecting. Yep, that's fine. And toga button depressed, and then we're good to go.
Toga button has been depressed. Taxiing onto the runway.
Okay, clear to the right.
Left.
Right.
This time of night, the ATC here have already gone to bed.
Otter 1-1, line up and wait, runway, blah blah blah.
Sabre Airways, thank you very much.
Okay, once we're lined up, I'm gonna click the heading thing, or click the heading thing in if you can.
Airways 69, wind is at blah blah blah, clear for takeoff, runway, blah.
Can you click the center?
That-
Yes,
yeah, clicked it.
perfect.
Okay, we're ready.
Okay, ready to go. Step brake, spool to 50.
50. Set.
Engine is stable, let's go.
Off. And Toga.
Toga. Airspeed's alive.
Oh, beer.
80. P1. Rotate. Positive rate. Gear up.
Look through the flight directors. Look through the flight directors.
I'm trying.
Don't follow them. Keep pitching up.
Alright. Yeah, the pit.
Yeah, we're getting a little fast. Gear is up.
Pitch for like 15, 17 degrees up.
Bitch, damn you.
Set climb.
Climb set.
Speed, nav, and autopilot at your discretion.
Okay. So speed wants to be 290.
Just put autopilot on, not 290. Put autopilot on first.
Autopilot's on.
Speed wants to be 250 max.
Okay. Mine's now gone. Yeah.
Putting it back up. And flaps retract. Why are we getting slow?
I'm in climb, but you've got my speed says 250. My speed said 180. Sorry, I'm putting it up to 2.
Okay, but you're controlling the autopilot then.
Go. Mine says 2.
Perfect. It's a little bit bumpy up here, is it?
It's not great weather at the moment.
Okay, since we don't need to contact anyone. Flaps, check retracted.
Flaps getting retracted.
Landing gear, check up.
It's 3 green. Is getting up.
Thrust reverses disarm.
Armed.
Fuel crossflow override to off.
Set.
Next items after 10,000.
Where did I put? Wipers off. Yes, the weather ain't great here. We finally got the rain we needed.
Yeah. Autopilot just went. No, it's still going. Never mind. Oils capture. Okay, let's get. We're getting cleared up. Set 15,000.
So. Okay.
Speed mode.
Back. Speed.
And set standard pressure.
Back.
How can I click the button?
I had to like right click it and that changed the mode to, to the
Perfect. Thank you. Aeroset standard. And landing logo and taxi lights off.
set.
Climb speed to 290 knots.
We want to be going on to nav mode now.
We are in F mode.
Okay. Huh.
Don't just click it. What was it? Icing.
ice.
Turn those puppies on quick, you'll die.
Anti-ice left and right on. Wing on. Yeah.
Where is it? Windshield, de-ice probes, anti-ice. Yeah, everything's set.
I suppose you could double check by going to the ECS page and make sure that the packs are actually on, because I found it super wonky. Okay, both are green. You're good.
We're using the wrong flight plan. Outrageous.
What?
The flight plan you programmed in is not the one that I submitted.
It's the latest one you sent.
It should be. It should be. Out to Otbed, not Acuba. That's okay. This route will work. It's just realism. The Humberside ATC guy was like, "Oh yeah, that's a good route, but if you want to be realistic, you need to start at Otbed because that's where we only get clearances."
Can you just go direct to?
Well, it's
Plug that
fine.
baby
No,
in.
it's fine. It's fine. This route will work. Just means my navigraph ain't gonna be worth shit.
Set cruise altitude on altitude.
So it's gonna be 33,000. Was it?
Are you still climbing at 250 knots?
Yes, yes.
290 knots is current climb.
Very set. And
330 flight level.
3307. I'm gonna set my radar to weather.
Don't
It'll be nice once that actually gets added in.
Oh, is
Yeah.
it not even in? Okay, well there we
Yeah,
go.
it's not.
I think they're waiting for API
Ah,
through the SDK.
womp womp.
Hold on, what does your transponder read on ATC one?
3034.
That's weird because it reads 3030 for me.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now serving sandwiches.
Sandwiches? I want some.
Now mine says 303.
I think it's a little desyncy still.
Yeah.
That's the same thing with Revan. Important is that the radios don't desync. What does your radio read for you?
Top one is 119.13, bottom is 117.1. On one is
That's-
119.130. On two, 124.850.
Okay, COM1 is desync for me then as well.
Mm.
Oh, 1117.1?
Yeah, for nav one.
That's nav1.
Yeah.
But COM1.
On one's 119.13.
No, that's desynced.
Wonderful. I wonder if there's a tips to avoid
What does your COM1 now read?
my com one still says 119.13.
Fuck.
It says you're in. One up and down is fine, no packet loss.
Did you change any of the stuff with your
Now it's moving. Now it says 131.85, 129.5, 130.85.
No, we're definitely desynced on the radio.
Shame there's no way to like hit a resync button.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I like X-Plane for that. Because of the data refs, you can just sync it up.
I think it's because I don't know if the X-Plane one is built in, but
Yeah, it's
Well, no, you're doing your controls or whatever, right?
it's just
I think it. Oh,
That's an Airbus autopilot.
re-engage.
didn't press anything.
No, it wasn't you. It was Desert Fox.
It was the
No,
one.
it wasn't me. It was not me. He needed to re-engage it.
Yeah, no, it autopilot disengaged.
Oh, sorry.
Uh-oh.
Shame on you. I'll come after you. Oh, what I was gonna say is your controls act on transmitting actions instead of just directly changing data refs,
Mhm.
like in X-Planes. So, like, if it misses one, if who's in it? Oh no, it's
Blackbird.
Blackbird is missing, like, not even like a packet, but like it just isn't even a missed packet. It just isn't registered by the program when
Yeah.
it samples the actions. It just is lost forever.
I guess then in that case we need to be either slower or I don't know, or just accept that the pilot is responsible for the autopilot and the frequencies. No,
Yeah.
I think
Gooder.
say again, Torstein.
Get gooder.
Get gooder, yeah.
What does your COM1 read now, Fodder?
Com1 reads 122.000.
Look at my. You can change frequencies via the FMS, and then you can just type them in. So it's
Ah.
not depending on you actually getting all the litty
Twirly bits.
thingies, whirly bits. Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, I think when me and Blackbird did the CJ4, I think we realized that sometimes it desyncs, especially for the controls that have like acceleration as you scroll on them and stuff.
It's just thick cloud.
Oh yeah, that would make sense. Yeah.
It misses some of the steps when you're turning a wheel very, very fast.
Yeah, but I also think that it might be that the way it's turning the wheel on the other guy's view, it might not like actually end up always like starting the bigger steps as you keep scrolling or something.
Either way,
Well,
we know.
just the thing is, Fodder is responsible for the autopilot, and we change frequency in my FMS site, and then it's all good.
And that way, Batsim stays in sync when we get brave enough.
Yep.
I'm sorting out getting a flight booked in a Piper 28
Nice.
at my local airfield, at Humberside, in fact, oddly enough. So I might take my GoPro for that, and you can see how fucking terrified I look when he says, "Okay, grab the yoke."
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Immediately go into a spin.
So that's
Zero
fine.
gravity.
What's the respawn conditions for this?
You can
Don't
always
slow
go
granite.
around.
Humberside Airport's famous for the guy that was doing some flying training. He was just doing pattern work, and then his instructor promptly had a heart attack and died next to him while he was in midair. And they ended up getting like everyone in to talk this novice pilot how to land with a dead guy sat next to him.
You'll be fine. You got GCS experience, right?
Well, yeah, exactly. But this guy ended up like being able to land, but they had to keep him up so long to get rid of fuel or something that he ended up landing at night anyway.
What?
Yeah, that's good.
He did do an evening. It was like a late afternoon flight. That was a fun day.
Cotton ball dead ahead, Captain.
Yeah.
It's less than ideal.
It's an anime booby, which means it's more than ideal.
My night landings suck compared to my day landings.
I mean, you've not killed anyone. That's well, it's a good start.
Still alive.
Everything else is a crew chief problem.
Just turn on your MVGs.
I remember when I sat in the when I was sat in the Vigan, and he was like, "You could probably start this thing if we hadn't sabotaged every single wire going." Yeah, thanks for that.
Perk.
Should called him out on it. Start flipping the switches. He's like, "Oh shoot, I didn't think you were that." Oh, please no, get out, get out.
Torsten, you at work?
No, not anymore.
Oh. I thought you were live streaming.
Oh no. If anyone wants to see what I did today, I can see my stream.
Go on.
Disappointed Fodder.
Throw a
Push the
bag-
terrorist out
You,
of the
you
plane?
throw a bag out. Oh, okay, more than
Oh
a bag.
heck yeah! What is it?
That's cool,
It lagged. What is it?
Dude.
What was the first box, Torsten?
I believe it might have been a boat.
It's yeah, slightly bigger than a box. Oh man, I'm getting stepped for my frame rate.
That's cool. When can we have this in DCS?
Why aren't you on the boat?
Because I'm a loadmaster, not a boat operator.
Why are these guys not on the boat?
Damn it, Jim,
Why
I'm
are
a
they-
loadmaster,
Why
not
are
a
they
doctor.
jumping with parachutes? What the fuck? They got a
The
boat going.
boat is jumping with parachutes.
Yeah, but why do you need parachutes on the guys then? You just take the parachute off the boat and then sit in it.
What?
I can see nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah, no.
Was that you grabbing the and I guess, promptly letting go of
no,
the dealio?
it's the static line bags. It was the other loadmaster. These were retrieving. I was in the front.
Nice. What a twat. Very cool though. Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's so cool.
Wish I was that cool.
Hmm?
Wish I was that cool.
I mean,
You can.
You could.
The-
You just press the cargo door button and you could achieve something similar.
There is no cargo door button.
Oh well, never mind then.
Get a better plane.
Yeah, get a bit of.
Can you,
Interestingly,
can you
the
open
max takeoff
door
weight.
by the,
Sorry.
Jawa can open up the door next to the lavatory. You just need to time it when someone comes by.
And out you go.
See ya.
It was like we seem to still be. I didn't realize we were still climbing quite slowly, right?
Yeah, if that happens, you go down to 2. Oh, go ahead. You probably know.
Combat bed.
Blackbird.
Oh no, it's fine. We probably want to switch to Mach now and go to 0.74.
Okay, so how do I do that?
Click the button that says
The knob.
Eat, the knob. It switches to Mach.
That speed knob.
Yeah.
Okay, it's Mac.
Oh, we're at 0.73. We're not gonna get any more climb rate out of this.
Okay.
We're getting 1,000 feet per minute, roundabout. That's fine. We could
I
climb
bet you
slower,
could go
but
down
then
to
we're
like
not.
0.7.
We could, but then we maybe not get the speed back when we get really high. Got 5,000 to go. We have 5 minutes to spare.
Oh yeah, you might actually need to go down to 0.72. Just for the final climb part.
It's gonna be fine. We're going up to 33,000, so.
It must be super heavy.
We are.
Yes, we are.
we're pretty much on the edge of this thing's performance.
Yeah, yeah, I feel
What's
like
the
you're
service
gonna
ceiling on
have
that
to
thing
step
anyway?
climb or something.
39,000 if you're light.
We're carrying a lot of passengers, and we let them have
Estimated
cargo.
takeoff weight is just 4 tons shy of max takeoff weight. So we're right sitting at the 30-ton mark for this thing.
Have you heard of Coffin Corner?
Mhm. You can't die in a plane.
That's
Coffin.
something like the this graph.
Open corners when we can't accelerate anymore.
Ah,
Or
Because
slow
we're-
down.
Or slow down, yeah.
we'll be fine.
Isn't it also for the helos, the corner, or the no, that's called Deadman's Corner, when they're too low to auto-rotate or too slow to auto-rotate? Isn't there something like that as well?
No idea. I just fly helicopters.
I think it is. There's a be at least 80 knots or above this line, or you're dead when the engine fails.
That's why you always buy Soviet.
When I was flying Gazelle, Blackbird, I was getting bullied by Lumber and Gato. Flying quite happily along in my Gazelle at like max possible power, and they've got this hind next to me, and they're just on the radio going, "Come on, hurry up, come on!"
Oh, we just got some performance, I guess, a little
I-
bit.
Well, I saw
By
some.
switching off anti-ice.
Ah, cool.
Holy fuck, that took 1,000 feet per minute out of our climb rate.
Oh my gosh, you still had the wing anti-icon too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we had all of them.
Not just the engine one. Oof.
Yeah.
We have an external air temperature reader.
Yeah.
You can normally switch switch anti-ice off after you pass -40.
Oh, there it is. Set -50, TET -26.
What?
It's -50 degrees outside, but we're moving through the air, so it's reading 26 degrees at our hull. because we got air friction going on.
Yeah.
You
So the
just set
tactical
one-
air temperatures.
You just set half
Minus
bank
6.
mode on, or does that come on automatically?
No, half bank is not what we would really do unless we want to
Okay, switched it off.
have the passengers not puke. We're a budget carrier, so hard turns it is.
Alt caps.
MSFS limits the bank rate anyway.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So-
Especially if you're-
We want to accelerate. What do we have as cruise? I think 300-ish.
If you want to simplify it, the EFIS has the little caret where you can just go to and kind of forget about it. If it goes faster, you go faster. If you go slower, you go slower. But I think it's set to give you an average ground speed of what your FMS is. Yeah, I think it should switch to cruise once it actually captures the altitude. Oh,
Point
and
8
also
is
move
what
out
we're
with
gonna be
the
cruising
climb
at.
V10.
Point 8? I don't think we're gonna be cruising at point 8. That's gonna be overspeed.
What am I doing? Down, speed up.
Keep it at 290. We're still accelerating, at least on my screen. You can see that little thing next to the speed tape, the little
Oh yeah, I
throttle
see.
thingy,
Just
that's the
minus.
same as in the Mirage.
ah,
If it's above, we're accelerating, below, we're decelerating.
useful thing ever. Took the extra fuel. Therefore, heavy.
Yeah, but now you have more time to think and talk about things because this is your first operational flight. You don't want to be, you know.
There's no go-arounds.
We flew Humberside to Manchester yesterday, and we got up to cruise height, and Butler said, "Okay, we've got time to do stuff." I was like, "Nope, we're coming down. 17-minute flight."
Welcome to my life.
Oh. We're looking at a Hoggett / Sabre meetup next summer, probably at Amsterdam, because life begins at Amsterdam International.
What?
Basically, everyone who lives in the European region, if they want to visit someone else, essentially has to go via Schiphol. So we might as well just like all be up there.
No, you don't. You go
Mhm.
to London Stansted.
Ugh. Why the fuck would I want to go to the big smoke voluntarily?
Then you're gonna fly with a lovely, shitty Irish airline.
I've flown Ryanair before to Brussels. It was lovely. Actually, I'm in London next week.
Mm.
I'm off to see
Oh,
them. I'm
you
off to
staying
see,
at Jawas?
no, I'm off to see Falcons at Jets at Falcons at the Spurs Stadium.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. My mummy fodder bought me some really good tickets for my birthday.
Nice.
Wait a minute.
Sometimes I forget how beautiful this game is.
I have 10,000 karma. Interestingly, all you'll see right now below us is like several thousand square miles of shitty wind turbines.
by the way, Father, one thing I remembered is that if you do, in sim brief, if you do want to take extra fuel, there's actually a setting for that.
Ah, nice. I will remember that.
So you can like tell it to either how much fuel you want or how long you want fuel for. So you can say like, I want an extra 15 or 30 minutes of fuel, and it will actually plan that in.
Found out why the AP was disengaging. My keybind to start and stop open track is evidently also bound to AP disconnect.
Lol.
So I can look around the aircraft, but I'm not allowed to have autopilot at the same time.
That'll do it. It's kind of warm here in the cabin. Can you turn me down a couple clicks?
Yes.
Oh wow. Well, never mind. What did you have it set to?
I had it set to. It looks like the default is off. The default cockpit temperature is RAM air.
Mommy, why are my fingers blue?
Ding dong.
Cabin is also set.
Could you turn it down, please? I mean, turn it up.
Don't you have a page for the temps in the back?
ECS.
So is there a cattle button?
Because it kind of depends, I imagine,
So,
how much
well,
power
yeah,
you're
yeah,
putting
right
through.
there, cockpit.
20. Oh, perfect.
How do you read that? Oh, I see. Cabin cover 28.
15
It's-
right now.
It's warming up. It's warming up. It's warming up. It's okay. Captain.
What about the
one of-
carrier? We can't like spend extra fuel on heating.
Captain, one of the children is hypothermic. Very well. One more degree.
So for our arrival, we're gonna have a pretty easy approach. We're gonna get down to Domek 5000, then to Hum, which is a ADF, or rather VOR. There's a holding at Hum at 5000, and then we're gonna go ILS 07, which is basically a radial off of Hum and a right turn into the runway. Should be pretty easy.
You're flying in Europe. VORs don't exist.
Yes, they do.
Beautiful aircraft. I'm really pleased with it.
Hey, Blackbird, what was the airfield we were flying the CJ-4 into last time?
Innsbruck.
Ah,
Hello,
right.
Lima Oscar Whiskey India. Deep in the Alps, valley, right in the valley. No ILS, only a 3.7 degree glide slope on a what is it, RNF approach, with a minimum of 1,000 feet, and we saw the runway at 100. Perfect.
There are go-arounds are not in our dictionary.
O-tone of me was, let's fly somewhere with daylight. We flew into Innsbruck at night in the thunderstorm. So the polar opposite of that.
It's
But-
a sense tester.
Quite fun.
Minimums is where you see the ground, right?
Well, we were seeing treetops and and houses before we saw the runway.
Oh, that's close enough.
We were like, it's gonna be here any second now.
It was
We were
supposed to be
actually
right here.
Looks long and flat enough.
Yeah, but the freaking missed approach would have been out of the valley, straight, and then back in, and I didn't want to go to an alternate, so yeah. I talked lazy down to ignoring minimums and just stick it on the runway.
Blackbird
safe and
unbuckles his Makarov. You look like you're trying to go around, comrade.
Toga button? What toga button?
It even says our flight number in the top of the right display.
Yes, it does. 6203. I'm going with the naming convention that 62 for me, and then this is my third flight. So
Ah.
the next one will be SAB 6204.
Well, your radios are controlled, so I'm gonna go to the loop.
Roger.
Lock the door, don't let him out.
I've even unlocked the door. There you go. And deny.
We have these jugs here for a reason.
What's this oxygen mask? Looks. Don't know who that is.
It's Jawa.
Face reveal. Hidden in
No,
the
it's
CRJ.
Pops. It's Pops.
Who is it?
It's Pops. The old man.
Yes.
It's actually one of the devs.
Yeah.
Very Avsim legacy man.
That it's all starting to come together slightly.
Go to on the FMS. MFD menu.
Yeah.
Then under window, make it go to VNav.
Okay.
Go through your legs, see if there's any discontinuities, because it should be displaying your next, Yeah, you got some. You gotta get rid of those right now.
I all look at magenta.
It's slightly different flight plan to what I filed. That's okay.
Did you execute?
Oh. Aha.
There you go.
There you go. And then it'll give you a top of descent. There you go. There's the Todd point.
Sweet. Thank you.
I like how only Torstein's giggling at my lame jokes.
There you go. Now we got two laughing.
I laugh at everything. I'm easy.
Oh, I see. There's a top of descent marker as well. So that's where I need to start planning in to get down to 1,000. Is that so? It says
If
3,000.
you
is...
want to do a default 3-degree descent.
Okay.
But let's see. Do you have VNav on here? Did you click the VNav feature, or is it just?
I don't think it's got VNav.
Okay, no. Yeah, no. There's an option to add like the. I don't remember if it's completely unrealistic or if there were CRJs that you could have coupled VNav where it follows the path, but most of them don't. You use either VS or speed to descend. I mean, I'm sure you know this. Like, you've flown this probably 3 dozen times at this point.
Twice.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so descending, use speed mode.
Mm-hmm.
Descend at, like, I think, like, 0.74 until 290 knots, and then go to 90 knots. And you control your rate of descent then using your throttle. And then you get the purple banana on or before the, your waypoint you need to reach.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I've never heard of a speed change mode being described as control your rate of descent with your throttle.
Yeah, I actually think it's easier than using VS, because then, you know, you just periodically look at where your bottom of descent is and just adjust your throttle accordingly. I mean, I guess it's either way.
With the fuel.
Oh, but if you did want to do a vertical speed descent, let's see, where do you go? You go to, on the FMS,
I think I've done this
page
one.
you want
Isn't
to,
it?
is it VNav, and then go to descent, and then,
There was a button that Blackbird told me.
VNav,
Yeah.
and then right page twice, and then descent info. It's counting up. Last time I flew the CRJ, it didn't update the next waypoints, so I just needed to type it in manually. You know, once you get to Keymont, I don't think it updated for me. Maybe I needed to like reload the page or something.
Back.
Looking back. Desert Fox showed you can go on MFD menu and then bottom line you can add VNav to the top of the display, and it's given me a top of descent and everything.
Yes, I know.
Cool. I didn't know that.
I think you can also do it using the panel on the left. I forget which thing it is.
Not going to start messing with these.
Format. The format one, I think, is what it is. The format knob.
Ah, yes, I have messed with it. Cool. So this says we're 15 minutes from top of descent. Speed has been constant away. No one at the fish.
can also see the top of descent on our course line. By the way.
Oh yeah, I see.
Hmm?
On the center display, little green dot. Todd.
Thanks, Todd.
Skyrim on FMS when.
They could, they would.
Yeah. Rain. Lights.
For rain?
Oh, up.
A big cloud of smoke coming from Amsterdam.
Oh, on the left side, okay.
Cloud spray.
So once we landed, do you want to turn this jet around or get a new one?
I'm entirely easy. I think for the sake of desync and things, it might be worth pulling a fresh jet.
Mm-hmm.
However, also equally, if you wanted to fly somewhere else, I'm not going to hold you to the return leg.
Oh no. I'm fine.
Cool.
I mean, I already printed the thing.
So, what your return journey? What's the yeah, your return journey? What's the route? Is it last 3 legs, Dolus, L90, Supal, Y70, hotbed?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the route we should have been flying. That's my fault for making like 50 different drafts of the thingy.
Mm-hmm.
However, I've learned a lot about routing flights today.
Holy fuck, we're gonna be even heavier on the way back.
We can alter some parameters.
Oh no. I mean, what do you want to do? You want to be like Delta and put some people out the plane? Or whoever was.
Just
I'm sorry, sir.
just
I can see you're wearing.
decrease by 100 kilos.
Yes. I'm sorry, sir. I see you're wearing 2 t-shirts and a hoodie. I'm gonna have to ask you to leave.
Yes.
Jawa, on European arrivals, do a lot of them end in options, or do a lot of them end in, okay, you take this branch to go to 29 left, you take this branch to go to 29 right?
If there are 2 runways, they normally have one for departing and one for arriving.
They keep them separate.
I'm talking, I guess, star chart wise.
Yeah.
Like, do they all usually have only one endpoint for all runways, or like for western runways or eastern runways, or do they bring you around to the airport sometimes?
It depends on the airport. Depends on the airport.
Okay.
A lot of airports are vectors to intercept the sun.
I'm bringing it
Get
up
the star
because
and then you go vectors.
yesterday someone on the CRJ forum finally revealed to me why when I switched when I was given the option for the different endpoint for the arrival, when you change approaches or arrivals, click execute at every single step. Otherwise, you get 3 or 20 or more copies of the same flight plan.
That sounds like a feature.
Okay,
Yeah.
ready for departure. Ready for descent, I mean.
Okay.
That's it. Descent speed is gonna be 290 knots target.
Okay.
0.74. Landing elevation is basically sea level, so we're not gonna touch that. Minimums VREF is set. I'm gonna set the TCAS to below
What do I need to dial the altitude into?
for Muenster. Airport elevation is 159 feet.
I mean the altitude on the autopilot.
What
Oh.
does that look like for the approach?
Down to 5,000.
1,000.
And then you go into V-speed mode and try to hit the V-speed. I'm gonna bring up the direct page on your side.
Oh.
And you got your VNAV page as well on the front.
Speed. And I don't. Should I start having the thing where it tells me what I need to be going to? Ah, there we go. 1,600.
Yeah. You also, on your vertical speed meter on the bottom right of your PFD,
Uh-huh.
you have a little blue circle that points you at the correct V speed. Roundabout. And make sure you're taking out throttle because we're getting way too fast. 290 knots is target.
Now, Desert Fox said set the speed using instead of VS.
Either one.
Right,
Either
okay,
one.
that's
So if Blackbird is saying Blackbird wants to do vertical speed, then you use the throttle to make sure you just don't gain too much.
Yeah, you could also do the speed mode, set it to 290, and then control descent rate by throttle. It's basically dealer's choice at this point.
See no banana at the moment, but the banana is coming. Oh, it's coming in.
Getting
That's a quote.
little slow.
Thank you.
I see the banana.
And the banana is coming.
It's coming.
Almost.
Almost there.
How many track miles do you have left? 80, 90?
565. Stand by. Why do I see that?
Progress page.
Yeah, 88.3.
Okay, you're 2,000 feet high.
Well, put some more descent rate in, Fodder.
Okay.
What does it think we want to be at?
I've set
It
it
wants
to
to be at
5,000.
3,000 or above at hum. Okay, so we need to hit 5,000 at hum.
Okay.
If you set 5,000, put the banana on Domek.
I need an adult.
More. Just a little bit more.
Okay, flip plan. So let's check. TCAS is now set to below. Okay, I wanted to go to radio. Tune 115.65.
But you must remember, you don't want to be doing 2,290 knots at 5,000 feet now, do you?
No.
I want to be doing 250 now.
10,000 you want to slow down to
Cool.
250 max.
Well, the banana.
Oh, what I haven't. Go ahead.
Banana is on Domeg.
Mm-hmm.
What I haven't looked at is the speed restrictions for the air brake. I guess I haven't needed to use it yet.
There normally isn't any. You just can't go up to the full. It depends on the plane.
That's what's nice on X-Plane that Flight Sim doesn't have yet, where you can just increment by whatever the increments are on the airplane. It's either, right now it's just either full on or full off are the keybinds. You gotta nicely drag it if you want something in between.
For what? What was that for?
Speed brake. I mean, I could bind it to an axis, like with the little spinny boy I got, but
Yeah, I have air brake on axis and Flight Sim.
yeah.
How many track miles left?
Not checking right now, stand by one.
Okay.
Okay, we got our holding set. Track miles. To EDDG 65.4.
Okay.
Okay, it's like there's me and Blackbird sat in the chairs, and then there's like 4 guys crammed in the back, silently judging.
It's a check flight.
No, Torst is in the back, isn't he?
He's frozen to death by this point.
He's having an argument with the hostess. What do you mean there's no ramp? This is bullshit.
Okay, I programmed in a holding at Hum, which should hold us at 5,000. And I just want to see if this works or not. I
It's
programmed it according to what we have here.
If you have no
You're
ramp,
programming
what do you do with
the-
the parachutists?
You might need to set your QNH.
Yes, that would be very nice.
That-
Ah, he's cheating. Okay, set. 3010.
QFE is
can-
the superior measurement.
You can start slowing down. Quarter.
Letter B is the superioritis.
What did you say?
Letter B, or the key command B.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It says lock will be tuned. That means it's tuning the localizer for the hold, or is it tuning the actual ILS?
For the ILS.
Because I had that.
Depends. It
The
depends.
hold based on the.
Oh, he
on
did
the
both.
localizer.
He did nav 1 and nav 2. What is hum again? Hum is
Auto decrease,
11565.
Isn't it on auto too?
Yeah, but I want nav 2 not on the ILS. I want nav 2 on the VOR we're holding it.
Oh, okay.
So we're coming down. We're at yeah, go on.
Decrease your vertical speed. You can't slow down and go down at the same time.
I am picking up the phone to call the FAA right now.
Oh
And by the
no!
FAA, I mean the ICAO?
You can put a post in tribunal if you want.
Okay, thank you.
Bodder said it was okay. Okay, so coming
You
down
have
to 10,000.
600 feet to comply.
basically in throttle idle now.
You can level out. Just level out for a while.
I think the banana's still on course.
No,
Yes.
right, but once you slow down, it'll jump backwards anyway.
So go less.
Just set it to 0 for now. If you want it to be legal, I guess.
Too late.
Until you hit 250
we're
and then
too
go the
fast.
rest of the way.
Free speed.
Descent checklist is complete.
Thanks for the follow, Cathbeck.
Hope you turned on your lights.
Yep.
Yes, he did.
Acceptable.
Nice. You probably want to start staring at 210, 230.
Yeah, I like. Yeah, I like 210 because it's below the 220 for the first few stages of flaps. If they need to be like, please descend 10,000 feet right now. Like, oh, okay.
Could have slowed down a little earlier, yeah.
Where is the auto thrust?
I mean, that's the entire thing what you're there for. All you do is use the thrust levers right now.
That's exactly. With Java's planes, you don't even need the pilots anymore.
Who's gonna drink the coffee?
Exactly.
I must admit I enjoyed flying the A320. I did not enjoy flying the A320 in Copenhagen, even though I sat there basically paralyzed. But it wasn't fun.
Copenhagen's good fun in real life.
It wasn't when there was something like 60 arrivals every 30 minutes on
It's fun.
that simple.
So what's going to happen now is you're going to level off, your speed's going to start bleeding off. It's going to let you to get
Put
your flat
speed
down
in.
and slow down.
We're holding, so you can keep it
Okay.
at like 240.
Simulated hold, fancy.
Ooh.
Is it actually? Oh, yeah, I guess so, because it's showing up on the page.
Yeah, it's the computer will fly the hold.
Now, what kind of entry is it going to be?
Oh yeah, no,
Parallel.
I was just wondering like why it showed up by default, and you didn't add it in.
I've got to say, since you told me about the little purple thing on the side of the speed tape, has made things considerably easier.
Yes.
God bless the baguette.
Yeah. God bless the French.
By the way, bug 220 knots. Good habit.
Yeah.
Or bug whatever you're flying, but you know, that's the point I'm trying to make.
And then set it as speed.
Well, no, just
No.
Yeah.
No.
Just for
Just keep it.
reference.
Don't click it. God damn it. It's good. It's fine.
Heading back. Heading.
Or did I just hear 3 clicks of a switch?
Followed by an heroic unclick. Congratulations, the passengers are dead. So you're expecting it to take us into the hold?
Yes, it's gonna be a parallel entry, so we're probably gonna make a right turn at some point here.
I haven't done my iron so long, I can't remember what kind of hold entry it's going to be.
Yeah, it's turning us.
Yes, but this is actually what we're flying now is the inbound leg.
Mhm.
So it's now gonna take us parallel and then a teardrop shape to then join the actual holding.
That's the name of it.
It does that for you.
LNAV
Here.
available.
It's I can remember what freaking
Makes
shape.
you cry. That's how you remember.
Only one I remember is direct entry. I can't believe I used to have to amplify this shit.
With a freaking stopwatch. We'll do one orbit and then we'll get out of this. Gives me
Evolve.
some time to prepare the other stuff. Passenger signs are on. Thrust reverser switches, left and right hand arm.
Set.
You still have your speed brake out?
Yes.
Why?
Because I didn't think off. Carry on. Let's reverse his arms.
Okay. Red look, page is good. Yeah, we're fine for now on checklists.
Did you click set V speeds on the EFB?
Yes,
Yes.
we clicked that already.
Oh, okay.
I see a
So
runway
should-
ahead. Cover me, I'm going in.
That
enough.
is not Muenster, I think. Muenster should be somewhere on our left side here.
It's
What is
ETHB.
that? That might be... what one?
ETHB.
ETHB, oh, I don't know.
Tribunal.
That's
ET, that's a military airport.
Nice. It's okay. I'm Saber. Taking the turn quite tight.
Yeah, I think the...
I guess we'll land to 200.
No, it's taking the turn tight because it's gonna go... Now, we're turning now onto the inbound, and the left turn is the outbound.
Roger.
It's the left hand.
Still doing the whole thing.
What? Oh, it isn't showing that.
No,
It
it's not showing the teardrop entry that it does, or the parallel entry.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
Whatever it's doing now.
Now, this is weird.
It's
We're gonna roll with it until we're pointing back to Hum, and then we'll... I don't think it's sure where it wants to go.
Blackbird.
Yeah, we'll just fly
just
this.
let it play out. We're just curious at this
Let
point.
the other pilot see what it's doing.
Some passengers sat there going, "What the fuck?" Just hearing the pilots going, "That's new. Don't worry about it. Let's just let it work itself out."
I think it's just a little wide of a pattern and a little
What are you now doing now?
They gotta tune the controller on it. Holy wow.
It's
Some
grabbing the
oscillation.
localizer. It's still on flight sim, but we are losing a little bit of altitude.
Really?
That's fine.
What the heck?
A little bit of altitude is fine. You have so many.
I've got 5,000 whole altitudes to play with. Well, 4.8 now. Looks like it's trying to capture the line now.
It's doing weird
Did
things.
you arm the approach?
It's not an approach, it's just
Oh,
a
not yet. Oh, that is wonky.
Okay, I pressed exit hold.
Okay, it's telling me it wants to go to not now.
What?
Go, Blackbird.
I'm gonna go direct Hum
yeah.
standby.
Oh, fodder, while he's doing that.
Oh no, it's
Uh,
going direct to Keymod, which is fine. It's our next point. Down to
Set.
3,000 for it.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you can descend. Okay.
Page is it?
Just eyeball it.
Well, cool banana.
Yeah, look at the banana. It's gonna be fine.
The banana on the thing. That's probably too much.
No, you're okay. It gives you, if you level off before, then it gives you time to slow down to your approach speeds.
Yeah, slow down to 200.
Do I need to be putting on any flaps at this point?
Nope.
Cool.
Bug 200.
Is that good practice to bug the speed you're aiming for regardless?
Yeah, I think that's what Jawa said. It also, I mean, I know it helps me because I just like completely pass what I'm aiming for because I forget what I'm going to.
So when you fly a plane with auto throttle, then obviously it does it for you.
Yeah.
Is the next waypoint the initial point for the ILS?
Yes.
Is that
EMOD
gonna
is
be like
typically
an-
where we...
Is that like a 95-degree turn into it?
Yep.
Okay. What's your flight number? Saber 3303 and turn left heading 300.
Go for it for the left 300, Saber 6203.
6203.
User is heading mode. Go.
I suppose it was kind of early to do that, but whatever.
Hey, no. ATC said do it. I am only following orders.
Good pilots follow orders.
So, further, if you want to have it go back to nav mode, like if we get cleared to key mode or something like that, you need to heading mode it to the correct heading first and then hit nav. And then it will intercept. You can't do it like in the Abus where you just hit nav and it just follows it.
So I'd have to spin my heading knob to like 3 and then hit nav.
And then hit nav and then it will intercept key mode again. Exactly.
If you wanted to intercept the course, but if you do direct to, it should still just go there, right?
I think it's more the autopilot nav not activating if we're just flying the setting. But I'm not...
Oh yeah, no, but I mean like if you depart the, if you're saying like, oh, I want to go from, what's the waypoint you just passed?
HMM.
Yeah, if you wanted to get back to the course line from to wherever you're going next, to Keemst,
Yeah.
you would need to do the intercept course. But if they just said clear direct Keemst, then you just do direct to and it goes direct to.
Yeah. Okay. As what are we doing on the progress? 20 miles to go. Starts slowing down to 160, very slowly. And flaps every 10 knots, so 190, 180, 170. Flaps 1, 2, and 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to land. Please notice the cabin lights have been turned off, as this is a normal procedure.
I just don't like the fact that we've got a Kiwi or Aussie.
It's such a British thing to say.
Could be worse. It could be like someone from Essex.
At least when I do this in the CJ4, it's a recording. But that's also
Saber
obviously a bit smaller.
6203, turn right, heading 320.
Right 320 for Saber 6203. Yeah, so keep slowing down a little bit more once you arrive 160 knots. Just gonna kick in flaps 3 now. Set flaps 20.
Stay here.
Yeah, stay here.
Cool.
What runway are you landing on?
07, ILS. ILS frequency is set. Switch nav source to nav 1. No, keep nav source as is. Sorry. Once we get clear to intercept the localizer, we're gonna do that.
I'll still be doing 220 knots at this point in real life.
Slowing down faster.
No, I would be still descending as well.
Ah, right.
We're doing a little bit. We did a little bit of an early slowdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would slow down now from 200 down to 160. But
It's fine. It's only for the second day of the job.
Yeah, I'm not used to trying to do this properly, as it were.
Don't worry, the fuel doesn't cost you any money.
I would have been doing a combat landing into Amsterdam.
Saber
got a-
6203, turn right heading 025, intercept localizer, cleared for the ILS approach for runway 7.
left, right 025, ILS 07 clear to intercept localizer. Saber 6203. I think my sim just had a.
Whoa, my sim just suddenly accelerated.
Yep, I had a.
Uh-oh.
Okay, go and search nav source to nav 1.
Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Course. One set.
Approach mode.
Approach mode armed. Set.
And what's your glide slope intercept height?
3000, I think.
No
Is it?
indication.
Is that the very first one?
Yeah, key mod is 3000 and glide slope intercept.
Oh wow, okay. That's a long ways out, isn't it?
What? 10
It's-
miles, 3,000 feet? No, that's standard.
Yeah,
Oh, is it?
DME
Okay.
Speed.
9.5 ish.
We have different air over here.
Okay.
Okay, it seems to capture the of it.
Okay, localizer capture. Slow down to VREF plus 10, or at least 140 knots.
150-ish, 155.
145-ish. And then on glide slope capture, we're gonna go gear down and flaps 4 and 5.
Cool. See a runway ahead.
Yeah, slow us down, throttles back.
Before glide slope intercept.
Ref plus 10.
VREF plus 10, flaps down, and gear down.
What the fuck? False glide slope.
Climbing to intercept the glide slope.
False glide slope.
Turn on localizer.
What the frick?
Are you in speed?
Whoa.
No, we're in approach mode.
No, yeah, it's in localizer and glide slope. It
I think it
pitched
didn't.
up initially. That's strange.
It didn't like the
Diving down to
flaps.
10 degrees down.
Should have got
Yeah,
gear
boy.
down first and then throttle idle and then flaps maybe? Go back
No,
on
I-
the throttle for
I think it's just Microsoft flights.
Yeah, that looks like a ism. It's an ism.
Well, we got one red puppy light, so we're not that high.
I have.
You can
I-
see where the glide slope is on the beside this
yeah,
altitude
I
tape.
can see it. We're not that far off it.
It's legal.
Saber 6203, contact tower on blah 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 blah.
Don't make me do
On
it.
tower on blah 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 blah. Saber 6203.
Spinny knob, spinny knob, spinny knob.
Well,
Tower
if other you
6203 established runway 07 ILS.
I was about to say, Fodder, I don't think you want to use that menu to tune the radios.
No. But I'm only doing it because it'll give me a,
Oh, your wind? Yeah.
Speed.
and also when
Speed,
we
fodder, speed.
down or up,
Up.
up, yeah. Whoa!
Oh, holy fuck.
What the?
Wind shear, wind shear.
Just, I think we.
Hi, DC.
I think we-
DC, your APN flight in.
Yeah. Autopilot disconnect. Hand flying. Fodder.
Click, 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 click. Heck yeah. Bug 145, and rest is easy.
It's a little annoying that I can't bug the speeds for fodder because it's...
Runway 07 Sabre 62
Nope.
Sierra Alpha Bravo 62.
But
Oh,
as I
by
was
the
saying,
way, Tower acknowledged you and cleared you to land.
Good.
Okay. Go.
At this point.
Okay, landing gear, check 3 green, flaps full, check and indicating. Missed approach altitude, I don't fucking
Going
care,
down.
we're landing this.
1,000.
but yeah, as I was saying, for the reason why you don't want to use that menu to tune the for ATC and stuff is because that isn't synced.
That's fine. It's more because it'll give us a gate.
Little high.
Yep. Trying to fly the fly direct. Purple line knows where I want to be.
On glide slope.
Don't say it, Chow.
Trust the banana and the purple lines.
They're magenta.
Come a little left.
500.
Checked.
400.
Minimums.
300.
Continue.
Ooh, pretty green on the right.
200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20.
Oh, you're floating.
Floaty.
That's a weird thing with the CRJ. Like, a lot of the landings, I'm at, like, 0 pitch.
Just reverses fodder. Brakes.
Button didn't work. Looking now.
Oh, you're fine.
Sabre 62
We're
Sierra
good.
Easy.
Alpha Bravo 62 exit runway
Okay.
disabled.
Hey,
Okay, we need to taxi
Really?
all the way to the end and then right.
that's 0.
Yeah. Okay, after landing checklist. Spoilers retracted, check. Flaps retracted, check.
Until the aircraft has come to a complete stop.
Taxi light on.
Attendant is way too late. I've already stood up and picked up my carry-on.
I bet you're one of the guys that claps.
Ironically.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Slow sarcastic, the slow
Yeah.
sarcastic claps.
Yeah, well done. You did that hold really well, didn't you? Yes.
Slow clap. Okay, this yellow line to the right for them.
Mhm.
That's sweet. Oh gosh.
Sabre 62 Sierra Alpha Bravo 62 contact
That's his
ground
boy.
121 decimal 88.
Bit off.
My throttle is it for the idle. I
Throw out
realised.
some speed brakes.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Sabre 62 Sierra Alpha
That
Bravo
was
62
not a good
acknowledge
idea.
last transmission. 121 decimal 88 Sabre 62 Sierra Alpha Bravo 62.
Round 0.8. Don't do it!
Ground Saber 62
What?
Sierra Alpha Bravo 6, 2 taxi to the gate.
Found out this thing doesn't have nose wheel steering, it has a tiller.
What?
A lot of airliners has the Aerosoft as well.
Yeah.
You usually don't also steer with the rudders. The best thing is it only got a tiller on your side, so you can't give me the taxi.
So, Alpha, then Golf, next left, and then 8. 12. Here is Golf.
Yep. Where did you get those taxi clearances from?
Using Game 18.
Yeah. Really? Let me check where gate 12 is.
No.
Yeah, but as I said, because it's tuning it using the in-game menu, it's not tuning it on backward side, so he doesn't hear it.
Okay, gate 12 is straight, and then left, and the first right.
Straight, and then left, and then the first right.
Yeah, I think we did the straight part, so next turn left. Here.
Ladies and gentlemen, now serving sandwiches.
Right here.
And right here, yes. Isn't there one in our spot? There's someone in
Nope,
our spot.
The marshal's there.
There's also an Airbus. For me, at least.
Well, I have well,
Classic Potter.
I am sitting in the engine of a 747 or something.
at least it's okay.
Hey, parking
Push
brakes
lamb
set.
chops.
Parking brakes
That's
set.
the only goal right now.
Throttles shut off.
Say again.
Throttles shut off.
Throttles to shut off. Do we not need to get the APU? Oh, you've done the APU.
APU is already running for.
Throttles shut off.
Ice protection check off. Is off.
That. Down. Tank lights off.
Passenger signs off. Fuel boost pumps off.
That.
Beacon light off. Nose wheel steering off.
That.
Wheel chocks and doors. IRS is off.
Ladies
Set.
and gentlemen, the door is open. Please make your way to the exit and please make sure you have all your personal items and carry-on luggage.
External lights all off. It's up for off, right? Yeah. And then APU start stop off. And I
Did
can
you
see
not
the
even
battery
use
switch.
the head-up display?
No.
Potter, put off the. Can you put off the battery? It's obscured by an airliner engine for me. Thank you very much. Yeah, that was a nice flight.
I wish it counted your takeoffs when you fly this.
I don't want to know
So
that.
weird it doesn't.
So many aborted ones.
Heck yeah, look at that. You were good. That was super good.
You can tell me how can I have more landings than takeoffs?
That's a lot of 7600s.
It's a really nice aircraft.
It really is.
Right. I'm going to BRB for 2 minutes while I go to the loop, and then we'll grab a fresh jet and go home.
Yep, I'll disconnect from the thing. I'll host the next one, I guess.
Cool. I will BRB.
The Saber Charter channel, is it?
I'm back.
Hey, Potter, you're gonna get simulated ATC by Desert Fox.
Hey. So, it's eating.
Where's it at, did you say?
Huh?
Where'd you paste it into?
What?
Did you say that you pasted it somewhere?
No, it's on the. I'm gonna DM it to you. It's in the channel, but I don't know if you have access to that.
Oh, gotcha.
This is. Oops. You can't see that. That's the path on my hard drive. You can access that. So. Where did it go? Potter, can you paste the return flight release to Desert Fox?
What, yeah, standby.
Well, and let me know if I need to. Actually, I should look right now. Allow messages. There we go.
Oh, okay. See. This thing I sent to him about Shakira. Want to send me the when you're in?
Go to main menu and turn off air traffic and multiplayer because both are not synced.
So off group only and AI air traffic, or off entirely.
Off entirely.
Okay.
Off live.
Set.
Okay.
I've got
Cool.
I've got EDDG gate 12.
You can fly from gate 12, yes.
Where we parked.
I'm gonna load in. I don't think any of our airports have stars and sits as we now go out on the return.
We'll be fine.
I am in the cockpit. I'm gonna start the server.
What's your cruise altitude and whatnot set to?
I'll tell you that in a second.
In the cockpit.
Yep, I'm gonna turn off the EFB.
It's on for me.
Well, let's start. You wanna start?
I'll get this up 1 second. Oh, okay. Cockpit preparation. Parking brake.
Cruise on the way back, lazy, is gonna be flight level 380 apparently.
You're going to be chased by a CJ4.
Possibly.
380 seems awfully high for how heavy we are. Let's see if we can get there. Maybe we'll go on this. Okay, parking brake. Set.
Landing gear down. EFB on. EFB performance. Set packs cargo fuel.
Okay, what do we have in terms of passengers?
Well, it says 40. I dare say this is where we declare some of these people no flight in our load.
I mean, I don't know why we're so heavy though.
Block fuel's less, or it's going to be less.
And it's less passengers. Okay, I'm gonna
think-
set 40 passengers.
Okay. I think also it's because the block fuel on here is 4473, and it's telling us we want 3718. So if we go to 4000, it's a bit of
Where do you see that on the release for the load?
block fuel 3718.
Yes, I see that, but I mean the passengers and stuff.
Oh, I think that
Page 3?
Yes, page 3, estimated 78, even though this thing only has 75 seats.
Yeah, we're not taking 78 passengers.
Take 4.
40, and they're allowed a few hundred kilograms of luggage. That's fine.
Truly, you are a merciful pilot.
Block fuel says 4,000. We're gonna go with what 4,400?
It says 3,700 if we go with 4,000.
So that's takeoff fuel.
No, block fuel I've got for EDDG to EGNJ, I've got block fuel FMO 3718. On page 1.
Okay. So what were we taking? 4,000 then?
Yeah. Do I need to type this into my FB?
Yeah, you need to type it in as well. No, payload I set payload in simulator. You
40 passengers.
Yes, 40 passengers, then forward cargo 118.
Yeah.
Aft cargo 370.
Yeah.
And 4,000 kilograms of fuel.
Okay.
Set payload in simulator.
Yeah.
And then we'll continue with the rest when
Okay,
we're
battery on. Gen switches all 3 in auto.
auto.
Nav lights on.
Standby.
Nav and logo.
Nav light. Logo light.
ISOL bleed valve to auto. ISOL switch to open.
Yeah.
APU power fuel switch on.
Yeah.
Doors open for
APU
me.
door open. Yep.
APU start stop. And then IRS to nav.
Set.
Okay, so FMS setup. Start this.
Once we get power.
Don't assume that it's set up. Call for clearance. Just in case you have he changes your route.
So we got APU power.
So regardless, we want to do pause in it first anyway.
Yes, and then you should get out a pen and paper and call for clearance.
Right. Probably close that one.
Well, Bremen control is on, so you can just call them.
Echo Delta Delta Golf.
Then by for. Oh, okay, you're doing that.
Cool. Okay. Sweet. So
No, you need to take the gate 12 number now.
Yeah.
Click it on the right side.
Yeah.
And then click it on set pause. Just below it.
got it. Okay. So
That's-
setting,
yeah.
doing it there, and then the gate recalls the position. Tell it where you want.
Yes.
Sweet. Okay. So
We have information, Bravo.
Monster Tower, Saber 6-2 with Bravo clearance to Humberside.
Saber 6-2 Munster Tower, or I guess ground. Munster clearance. I have a revision to your flight plan advice ready to copy.
Ready to copy.
What a prick.
What a prick. What this? Carry on. Ready to copy.
Saber 6-2 cleared to Humberside Airport. Domeg 3 Echo departure. Domeg transition then as filed. Climb and maintain 5,000. Expect flight level 360 10 minutes out of departure. Departure on 129 I guess you're European, so decimal 30, squawk 6204.
Joel has just looked right and gone, European? What? Do you know where you are, Hans? Okay, cool. Revision to Saber 62, no, Muenster Tower, Saber 62, revision is departure on Domeg 3 Echo, via onto Domeg, out at 5,000, expecting flight level 360, contact 129.3, 129.3, squawk 620.
The Saber 62, read back correct. Call ground when ready for European again. So ready for push and start.
So,
if you wanted to tighten that up a bit, you just repeat right back. Saber 62 is cleared to Humberside Airport. Domeg 3 Echo departure. Domeg transition then is filed. Climb and maintain 5,000. You don't need to do the expect. I guess you do. You technically do if you said, because that is a command. But then yeah, the rest was good.
Sweet.
Awesome. Like it was all good.
I stopped writing at 5,000, expect flight level 360 after 10 minutes after departure.
I mean,
Yeah, the 10 minutes after departure I made up because it's not on the departure chart. But since you, just in case you were like expecting, you already had like, if you initially filed for 34,000 and you said no, you're actually getting 36,000, then I just said 36,000 in there.
You can't load it via file for it because I don't have the file. What are you doing there?
I can't do it,
Load
okay, so I have to
via
do it manually, like some kind of dirty
Yes.
troll. Echo, Delta, Origin. Echo. Get. Alternate. Manchester, but that's not going to make any. So, how do I actually add waypoints?
You see the 2 on the bottom? That's gonna be if we go direct to something.
Okay.
And everything else you see on our dispatch. Where is it? Page 2, I think. You see.
Oh, right now I would add the departure with the CRJ's weird FMS.
I mean, we have Domec in our departure, so we could go direct SONAP first, enter the rest of the flight plan, and then enter the departure before that.
Okay, yeah, good deal. Yeah, either way.
So I go SONAB and then 2.
SONAP and then 2, yes.
SONAB 2.
Okay, direct SONAP, and then you have these airways, like, you know, you have P64.
And then just keep adding them to the...
No, P64, and then you put that into VIA on the left.
VIA? Alright, okay. 2.
Henley, and then L62 to spy, and then T606 to Monday. Yeah.
You with the other checklist. Like I did.
So I take it the CRJ doesn't support like sim brief loading or anything like that?
It
does, but via file, and we didn't share files beforehand.
It's
right.
not the longest going anyway.
Oh, but yeah, in terms of like directly downloading it, no, they don't. Not yet. It'll be really nice. Then you wouldn't need to mess with like, oh, where is it actually saved? Because it started working for me. I found a place.
O'Neill
then I updated the CRJ, and it just doesn't work in the same place anymore. So I don't know where to put the files.
O'Neill is not in the database, so I'm gonna do what's called a pro game.
Stand by.
Huh.
Lamso.
My FMS definitely.
What?
I was just gonna say my FMS has Monil.
Did you actually?
MONIL, Monil. Not found.
T606.
Yep.
Clear T606. So you hit clear.
Yep, cleared. Nothing in there.
Oh, interesting.
Nothing happens if you click clear again? Or do you have to use delete?
Oh, that is wonky.
Oh yeah, delete and then hit T606.
Okay.
And then go direct Monial. Try that. Just Monial in the right.
Testimonial. Yeah, okay, and then
Direct Lamso.
I have to go next pair. Yeah.
Yes.
Olan. Two. Head. And then that's it. If I just execute that, I don't have to put the I don't have to put the arrival airport in the last step. Or just
Nope.
then execute.
Execute.
Cool.
And then go to Dep R and program our arrival and departure.
So it,
So first, Domek, 3 Echo,
Oh, if you
Select-
don't have. Oh, yeah, it is 3 in there. Okay, it is.
07 was it?
07, yes.
I was gonna say, I think if you, at least on some of them, if you select the runway, it'll narrow down the list as well.
Ah, cool.
And then we're gonna be ILS 20 via vectors. Basically direct.
Okay, I think that's set up.
Weight and balance, performance.
Since this happened last time, go through the legs right now and
Yes.
see if there's discontinuities other than the vector.
Yeah, just the
There's
vector.
one.
Cool, you're
Oh,
good.
there's a discontinuity after the vector.
No, that's why it's there. It's because of the vector.
Mhm.
The FMS doesn't. You need to trick it into not going to the next waypoint.
So, copy flight, copy perf init data. S done.
At what point was it the vectors showed up?
After Opbed.
Okay, right, yeah.
Altitude.
I
was
am seeing this.
are we going to go 380?
360.
F.
Oh, that's cool. I just type in like 36,000. That's cool. I didn't know it could do that.
Do I need to program in the climb, cruise, and descent wind?
Nope.
Cool.
It'll help, I guess, for your time calculations.
They'll get there when they get there, goddammit. And
Yup.
they'll be bloody grateful for it. Okay,
Hey, did you copy the data to FMS yet?
yes, twice.
Stand by if it actually copied that for me.
Hello?
Hello.
Are we there yet?
Doing the thing.
Are we there yet?
We are, and now we're going back.
I have to pee.
You have complained too much, and now we're turning around. Going
Okay,
back
I'm
to...
setting
We're bringing you back to Afghanistan.
I'm setting V speed fodder.
Okay.
And yeah, that's set up, okay.
Okay, let me just... case. Okay, flight plan is ready. Ready for...
Okay, what was our ground frequency?
129.3.
Wasn't
That's
that departure?
the departure.
That's departure. So whatever the default was.
Whatever. I mean, whatever. I'm not going to talk to you guys at this point because the SID is super easy. The guy, when you take off, the departure will just say cleared to whatever 18,000, and then he'll clear the rest of the way.
So basically what you'd now ask for fodder is push and start.
And you don't need to do that on my end. You can just imagine that you requested push and start and say what gate you're at.
Cool. Okay.
It's all like ordering a pizza with the initial, who you are, where you are, and what you want.
Cool.
Hello, I am Potter and I want to fly plane.
Please can make plane go. Okay, we're on the engine start. We're on the cockpit preparation resume. Okay, hydraulic pumps 1, 3B.
Make sure that you have chocks not in place.
doors are removed.
Very much. All doors closed. Passenger signs are on. Fuel boost pumps are on.
A bit ahead.
Beacon light.
Oh, you did cockpit preparation. That's fine. Okay, cool.
Beacon light is on, and then we're gonna do pushback. What? Start the engines. Pushback.
You push back.
MSFS is pushback. Tuck is connecting.
Like it's moving on my screen.
Yeah, we're gonna be pushed back in a bit. Don't worry.
Cool.
Before we do, I need to put in my vegan detent, stand by one.
Someone's playing Art of Rally.
No.
Team NG.
So
Yes.
wait, is a lazy Blackbird and Fodor all in the same aircraft?
No, Lazy's going to be stalking us in a CJ4. Me and Blackbird are in the same aircraft.
Fodder, tell me you're moving backwards
I
right
am
now?
moving backwards right now.
That's good.
We need some kind of taxi or landing lights on.
No. Not yet.
The poor tug driver, you're gonna blind him.
That sounds like a crew chief problem.
Right engine starting.
On top data coming.
Left is clear, right is clear. Okay to start.
That's how it goes.
Stopping.
They say clear number 4, and I say number 4 clear.
Okay, 20.
And then number 4 starts
22.
spinning.
You have an APU?
Listen to Thorstein being all. Look at me with my real.
Well, you see,
life
that's wrong,
experience.
Thorstein. That's wrong because we only have 2 engines. Jesus.
What? Is that
All
possible?
showing off and everything. Goodness.
And we don't have propellers. We have these really, really fast propellers.
Well, mine has the really, really fast propellers as well, but
Oh,
it has a big propeller on the end of it.
I suppose you don't need an APU, do you, Torsten?
That said, I do like turbo.
Oh, we do have an APU as well.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
It heats the
The
coffee.
engines are that big?
Hmm?
It's like, I mean, okay, I understand that the engines are a little larger than the, what are they called, the PT6s that are on, like, King Airs, but
Engine 1 star.
takes that much power to start them up.
Yeah. But we use the APU for because with the turboprops we have them in low speed ground idle on the ground for fuel consumption and noise and vibration and stuff like that. And with
Bless you for taking care of your passengers.
so we use the APU for stuff on the ground.
Okay.
Or it comes on when we land, basically.
Idle. Oh. Mission. Okay, after engine start, ready for the
Where's
checklist?
the overhead panel lights, Fodder?
That's a very
Have
good
a look on
question.
the overhead bin.
Here.
Ah.
Better?
Yeah, very much so. We've
Okay.
got a good start on engine 1.
Okay. Probes left and right on. I'll do that as my side. Winch anti-ice as required. We don't need it at the moment. Taxi lights on. APU start stop. APU power fuel. Landing elevation set. Bother?
So what I'm missing is where do we put the ESOL back to closed? Do we actually do that?
I don't think it was part of the last one.
It wasn't, but it didn't show up on the thing.
Uh,
Maybe
What's
it
the-
closes
What's
automatically.
that item?
ISOL.
ISOL. It says ISOL open on before.
Computer
it goes live.
isolation valve.
Ah,
Oh, that's
it's
the,
already closing. It's closed.
Yeah, it automatically. That's one of the things that pops up on the. I don't think it's the EFIS, but on your right MFD.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. APU start stop. Flaps set 8. That's
Set.
set. Hey.
I'll stop talking now.
AP altitude and runway heading set.
5,000 runway headings set when we're on the runway.
Cool. Altimeter, local QNH.
Set.
D-speeds set.
Checked.
Trim for takeoff.
7.2.
Listen to these guys doing like proper crew resource management and everything.
7.2. Trim set.
Okay. That is the end. Nose wheel steering, armed.
Set.
We're on the taxi. We're on the taxi checklist now, so we need to request taxi.
Okay, serious question.
One.
Do you have a high gain mode for your nose wheel steering?
It's not a carrier plane, but it can do almost 90 degrees on the nose.
Oh, that's actually cool.
Okay.
We're gonna take Golf Bravo holding point 07.
Well, sure. If our says so. No, I'm kidding. Go on.
Yeah, sure, go for it. If you want to be fancy fodder, you type that into your right FMS, the taxi instructions.
Okay. Where'd you do that?
Just in the scratch
You,
pad.
you just
Oh,
type
right,
it into
the
the
scratch
scratch
pad.
pad and don't
Okay,
do anything.
Yeah, but I have like paper and a pen.
Yeah,
You
that's
have a
true.
Blackbird.
I have a Blackbird.
It's your
You should-
personal scratch pad.
You should start. You should start putting text messages in there and posting them on the supporters fodder.
Who would even do that?
Take Java.
I'm surprised you haven't done that, Torstein.
He's done it
Well,
many
yeah,
times.
several times.
I've yet to see it.
I've seen a Norwegian Herc potentially flying around with a scratch pad that says "Blue's bad"
And
I did
Blackbird
see-
best mod.
and "Blackbird best mod."
I did see the one with the target frequencies on your radios. That
Do
was
they-
like-
Yeah.
Do they log key presses? Is someone gonna like audit it later and go "Blue's bad"? What the fuck?
That's a weird nav fix to be programming it.
Somewhere in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
I mean, apparently in the Apache they track whether they actually track in the black box where you're looking.
Mm.
So I mean,
Yeah, but the C-130 doesn't have JHAMX.
When I came,
Well-
The normal doesn't.
well, no, but I mean, as in they actually log where you as a pilot are looking in the Apache, even during normal flight regimes. So I mean, them figuring out and recording key presses doesn't seem that weird, I suppose.
That doesn't happen in the C-130.
because someone holds a large magnet against the black box.
That's my post-flight inspection.
That's where Torstein stores all his secret anime stash, and when the
have to
cops
clear it.
show up, he has to magnet everything.
Skyrim
Magnet
again.
the hard-
We're going back to Skyrim on MFDs.
Yeah.
For 10 minutes, you're looking at your groin. Why is that?
Who?
No, when it records where
Oh
you're
yeah.
looking. Before start checklist, can you try and do whatever we can do?
Short, standby, after engine start, taxi before taking, so landing lights are on, strobe light on. Again, cross flow, manual, transponder. Transponder on. No, transponder wants to be 6204. That one is active. Cool. Okay. Anti-ice is required. TCAS is required. Autopilot heading. We're going to thingy. AP source set to booms. Set. Toga button.
On. Toga button. Press flight direct active.
When I did the vig and sit down, and the radio is exactly where I expected it, and the cockpit was exactly as it should be, except with an MFD. And I sent some pictures to Saber guys, and then I think Torstein said, "You didn't tune the radio to 253," and I was like, "Fuck!"
I was just gonna do the Saber shit posting freak yesterday, but
Busy. Someone said you had to
all
throw
the radios.
Yeah, and someone said you had to throw a boat out the back, and that was just inconvenient.
I can't remember. It might have been before the boat that came out. So we're just waiting for the K-loader to come out. So I had some time to kill.
I just have this image of the pilot going, "Just get in the back, Torstein. Jesus Christ, stop messing with the kit."
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has advised that we are now cleared for takeoff. Please notice the cabin lights have been turned off. as
Okay,
this is a
so,
normal procedure for a nighttime takeoff.
we request clearance for takeoff, get clearance for takeoff, and
Plus an instruction to fly heading 070. Just to be spicy.
so fly 070 on the way out.
Yep.
070
Don't fly the FMS right away. Spin 070 on your heading knob and do heading mode.
We're lining up on 070. So we that when we get.
070 is already dialed for me. Might not be for you, Fodder.
That's fine. I'm not going to touch the autopilot at all. Because MSFS stuff.
So do you want to call out airspeed? 80 knots?
80, 100, V1, and then when we hit V2, it's rotate. Is that right?
V-rotate is actually pretty close to V2, yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Cool.
And then you call out positive rate and I'll tell you to pull the gear up.
Cool. Positive rate
I suppose
is...
if you...
Go on.
Oh no, go ahead.
Positive rate is when we are gaining altitude.
It's when you
Basically.
actually see your vertical velocity going up.
Cool.
If you call 80 knots, if 80 knots is the your aircraft's like I don't know what even
It's
it's
80
called.
knots is the
Well, cross check plus on some airliners like the 737. If you're below 100 knots and like the window flies open, you stop, you abort. But if you're above 100 knots, you just continue and then close it after taking off. That's why they call that out. So I mean, if you call it out at 80, you don't need to call it 100.
So
I don't think.
I've got on
Maybe
my...
there's ones with multiple speeds.
On my HSI, I've got V1090, VR090, 2138.
Yes.
Cool. Okay, so 80, and then 90 is rotate, and then
positive rate.
Okay.
Okay. Set. Cooling the engines.
Did you set heading?
Yeah,
As
but
is.
also, the
Oh,
most
right.
important thing is to make sure that you communicate, in such a way that your crew member understands. So if you feel the need that you need to call it out every 2 knots because then your crew member understands, then you must definitely do that because it's all about making sure that you both understand what's going on.
Cool.
Okay, let's go. Toga.
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 Every time. It's alive. Attic. Rotate.
Staying alive. Staying alive.
It's not coming up yet. Here it goes. Hold on.
Positive rate.
Gear up.
Saber 62 contact departure on, I forget what I said. I wrote it down, but now it's gone.
129.3.
Climb mode. Set speed. And autopilot.
Oh, and then when you call in to departure, you say your altitude.
So I'm tuning the radio from the S because just DCS things.
What's up? Muenster departure, Saber 6204 at 2000 feet, crossing 2500 for 5000.
Saber 6-2, what is it, Muenster departure, radar contact, clear direct Domeg, climb and maintain, flight level 360.
Flight level 360 and direct Domec. Thank you very much.
Easy.
We're looking at the guy that did his first VATSIM flight on from Edinburgh to Humberside, which, you know, stupidly easy flight. No, Edinburgh to Manchester, stupidly easy flight. Sat there so long at Edinburgh ground, summoning up the courage to try and talk to the ATC that I got a low voltage warning on my battery.
I know the feeling. I know the feeling.
And then I got there, and he was like, "That's fine." And Torstein then pasted into the CivSims channel that I put my flight remark as "First flight ever, please be gentle." And then I get halfway down the taxiway, and I'm getting to my hold point, and I'm like, I can do this. And he goes, "Yeah, Edinburgh Control, I'm going offline now. Bye."
Oh.
Classic.
I mean,
However, then I felt a lot more confident because I was just like, I am now on an uncontrolled airfield. YOLO.
I got sass from all the controllers I talked to, basically, when I flew with Torstein. I was confusing Copenhagen, Oslo, and Stockholm.
Well,
I mean, times in a row.
it's easily done.
And Clearance said that once I made up my mind where I want to go, I can just go. Because I think I was sitting in Stockholm and I was asking Oslo to Stockholm, even though we wanted to go to Copenhagen.
Beautiful.
It was, or was it where we at Copenhagen? And I confused.
Yeah, I think you guys
Yeah,
flew.
we were
I think you guys flew out of Copenhagen.
Yeah, it's crazy.
my first time flying on EVO, I got so nervous to talk to ATC. I made them start talking to me by just pressing my ident button on my squawk on the ground.
Blink twice if you can hear us.
And then they started calling me on frequency, and you know, when you're being called, you kind of have to answer, right? But hey, it worked. It got me my first flight. So.
Altimeter to standard. Climb speed at 10,000 is 290 or 0.74. Landing, logo, and taxi lights to off. Passenger signs. Move around. Ice.
Did we get ice? I don't see
rotate,
ice anymore.
rotate. No.
What's set?
It's
Oh, we're
reverse.
-5. Put on engine ice, please.
Ice. Anti-ice. Owl. Is that? Yeah.
No, it's engine ice. Those two. Ah, yeah, cowl. It says over there. Yes.
Okay.
Left of that is wing ice, but we don't need wing anti-ice right now.
Okay. Thrust reversers disarm. Fuel flow. Cross flow auto override to auto.
Both set.
Landing, taxi, all landing and taxi and logo lights off.
All off.
Okay. Barometer is in standard. Alrighty.
We're happy on the way.
Woo!
I can see the sky, which means we're probably out of moisture right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now serving sandwiches.
Yay! Sandwiches are here.
Sandwiches!
Get 2 sandwiches in one day. Heck yeah.
Yes. Perfect
Oh
life.
yeah.
That's what it is all about. That's why we fly for
Yeah.
For the sandwiches. I actually got the pilot in command package, so I'm getting ravioli right now.
You're getting a can of ravioli that's been heated in a hot water vessel.
Still better than sandwiches.
Yeah.
Oh heck, that's gonna be a sharp right turn that we're gonna get here.
Be what, 92, 90?
Yeah, pretty much right.
It might freak out, and you might need to get on an intercept course did when
No,
I was flying out of, I think it was Boston. One of the SIDs has a more than 90, and it freaked out.
Only if you were in an aircraft that could actually pull some alpha.
I mean,
Thank you for the direct.
Okay, so I was on Haget the other day on voice, and there was a guy explaining the F-18 radar to a new guy, and there was a teen. I suppose he was teen, like 16 years old, very very boastful about his abilities, and he's like, yeah. The F-18 is the worst dogfighter, and the F-18 sucks because it can't do anything and it can't turn. And I just casually showed him how you can pull 50 AOA in a dogfight and get away with it.
Have you ever seen Sawamura? Some of his he does a solo Hornet display, and like he can have that thing doing like 30 knots, cruising along, pulling all the AOA.
30 knots. Yeah, no, that's very fun to do. You get like 120 knots airspeed, pulling like 50 AOA. It's fucking amazing to do it. It's so much fun to do it in the Hornet.
My barometer's flashing on my.
Yeah, that's normal.
Oh,
just let it flashing.
Oh.
It's just telling you to switch to standard, but you already did.
There's a reason Dos Gringos saying all you fuckers wish you flew the Hornet.
Wait a minute.
No, it's actually in there. You wish you had the alpha of a Hornet.
Yeah.
While the other guy, no, while I can still pitch and roll, the other guy is going out of control.
It's a great aircraft. I love it. I like the Hornet.
I had so much fun in the Hornet last weekend. Torstein got clapped by MiG-21.
I mean, sure, there's better aircraft out there. Sure, the F-16 is a better dogfighter. Sure, it's the Tomcat is faster.
But it's a Swiss Army knife.
Exactly.
I just like that. What qualifies Blackbird to have fun in the Hornet is Torstein getting his shit pushed in. It's like, I'm having a whale of a time. Wingman on fire.
No, the thing was, what really killed me was Sky Eye saying, overriding your duty, and I was still not talking to him because I was balls deep in the merge with 2 MiG-21s on my tail. No time to talk. Had to aviate. It looks like we're way out of moisture now, so I'm gonna turn off the engine anti-ice.
Touch it?
Oh, did we already turn that off?
I didn't touch it.
Can you see if it's on or off?
Right.
Anti-ice. I think downwards is on, right?
Yeah, it is. Probes are on. No, middle position up is off. Anti-ice is now off.
Yep, perfect.
Checking the ice
Gives
page.
us a little bit more performance here.
Ice is indicating off.
Nice. No ECAMs, all fine. Passing flight level 370.
I'm just doing a real quick bit of work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on course.
We'll have time. Hey, what's our top of descent gonna be? It's gonna be way out.
That is a funky thing. Like, you don't know unless you hand calculate it or you remove the vector's discontinuity.
Oh yeah, true.
How do I just go CI-20 to opmed?
No, CI-20 onto the vectors. Then execute.
Cool.
We're just gonna get it direct, anyways, because I can say so.
And also, this airfield will probably be closed at this time.
Yes.
It's okay, you just use the F10 menu and switch the lights back on.
That's how you save on ground handling fees. Saber Charter is the real low budget carrier. We land at airports that are closed at night, so we don't have to pay ground crew.
Just circling, and the co-pilot's looking through, going with the binoculars, going, doesn't look like there's any cars there. Okay, land, land!
There are airports that the pilots can turn the lights on via radio fodder.
Wow, that's cool.
You click
A
it.
lot
I
of
think
them.
you click it twice, the mic, and then it turns on the lights for 10 minutes or something like that.
Ah,
And
there's
then you can click up and down the brightness as well.
seriously.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. You just key the mic.
It's for very low frequented airports that
Mm.
don't see a lot of traffic.
Nice.
Usually are
Real
untowered,
person airports.
Ugh.
Working
like
class airports.
somewhere in Greenbow, Alabama, or down the Montana mountains, probably.
No, everywhere. Everywhere. Like all of the VFR ones, all of the non-towered ones, you do that.
And we're switching Tenley, banking right.
That's a beautiful view.
Switching speed to Mach and putting it a little lower here. Okay. Having at 0.77 for the last few. Message. Roll, guys. So, what's our approach gonna be looking like? Which way are we landing again, Fodder?
200. There is the ILS approach will take us out over the Humber, like north, and then back in.
There's no star approach. ILS, DME, or localizer DME runway 20. Altitude capture, 1,000 feet to go.
Oh yeah, so
So-
would you choose the Otteringham transition for the approach?
Transition? Oh no, direct to arrival subject to HC. Oh yes. I don't think we can choose that though.
Oh,
I've got
Let me
op-med
check.
direct to runway 20.
Departure, arrival, ILS 20
an OTR?
via
the transition?
OTR. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll work.
And then go through your legs, see if it messed anything up and you need to delete a few lines.
I can execute that first, stand by for.
Okay.
Don't click anything.
Touching. But it
Now we
discontinued
have
already.
discontinuity again.
So, Otteringham to...
Onto the discontinuity. Continuity. No. Cancel mod. Cancel mod.
Cancel what?
Cancel mod is
Cancel
the
mod.
button
Okay,
on the left.
so Otteringham...
Go to the Otteringham onto the discontinuity in this case.
Okay.
And then execute. And we have Otteringen twice, don't we?
We do.
Hit clear or delete. And delete the... it doesn't matter. Yeah, one of them.
So, op-med, Otteringham, it's still there.
Stand by. We maybe had it 3 times. Delete the...
Yeah, on it.
Delete the one that is not 2,000 above.
Yeah. Delete the 3,000 above one.
Yeah.
And then
Op-med.
execute. Good.
Otteringham. Yeah.
Super, Ottbed, Ottringen, and then down to the runway. Yeah, that works.
It'll be nice and graceful if you wanted to, make it into like almost an arrival.
capture the cruise. Mark point 81. What is our designated speed for the cruise? .65, .79. We're a little past, but that's fine. We need to get there before the night shift starts. Pop out instruments are the best thing.
Oh, right, having it on set. Yeah.
For the FMS and the nav display. The what's it called? PFD and nav display. Interesting. I mean, our approach for not using the transition would be vectors, or quite possibly flying over the Humberside VOR out to 043 radial and then a left turn to intercept, which would be very unnecessary from the direction we're coming in.
I mean, actually, in fairness, this time of night, the only air traffic within 20 miles is going to be Ospreys doing gun runs on Donanook, which we will fly near. Live traffic right now, the nearest aircraft is an Apache with call sign Bedlam. And a Typhoon with call sign Vampire.
Ooh.
Oh, there's a Danish Herc doing stuff.
Oh, pilots are reminded that parachuting takes place at Hilbertstow.
Hibblstow, yeah.
Approximately 7.4 nautical miles southwest of Humberside, between flight level 160 and ground.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder why they don't go between flight level 160 and flight level 300. They're gonna pick them up at 160 again because that's too strict to the airspace.
Yes.
You miss it. You're getting a call from the FAA.
My dad was, my dad was telling me, Torstein, of some memorable jumps he's done out of a Herc, backflips and stuff like that, and throwing people out when they're a bit hesitant at the door. He said they did a jump in Belize. They went down to Belize in South America or Middle America, whatever it is, and said the Herc landed and the guys they were transporting got off and got on a bus and all that jazz. He said because technically he classed as aircrew at that point, they put him in a 4-star air-conditioned hotel. He said, but the actual aircrew, they parked the Herc up. This is like the late 80s. They parked the Herc up, got out, and then a Cessna taxied up to them. They threw their kit in the back, and then apparently it just took them out to their hotel, like in the Caymans or something, in some islands. I was like, yeah, that sounds about right.
For the thing in Georgia now, the army that was doing the processing of the refugees, they were stuck in tents, and we were at the 4-star hotel.
Shame.
Yeah, shouldn't have chosen the army.
Yeah. And in fairness, though, those sorts of people are probably the types of guys who loved it.
Weird.
Oh, there's a spy.
What?
It's 12 nautical miles ahead. We're gonna cross it in a minute or so.
Oh, there's Spy. Yeah. I get it. There's one of the.
Near
Wait.
Amsterdam.
Hold on.
Big box.
Spikeable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
currently
I know
over,
that.
We're currently over your land. You can see the big.
You're like overflying almost my city now.
Nice. There was
Well,
go on.
Germany to Great Britain, there's somewhat the Netherlands
Yes.
in the way.
Speed bump.
Well, yes, but I live pretty close to Spikeable.
Hmm.
If it is it the one? Yes, it is the one. Yes, Wormeland. It's a 10-minute drive to that. I know where the beacon is. When we do the Sabre Amsterdam tour, I'll drive us there.
Bacon.
For no reason whatsoever other than driving.
Is it Atlanta? I think it's Atlanta, which has all its waypoints are like Frodo, Gandalf, Smorg. I think they
I think
got...
it is. I think you're right. I think Atlanta has that. San Francisco has like Avengers stuff or Marvel stuff.
Orlando has Disney stuff.
Hey.
I think I've seen like screenshots or something of somewhere that has like Jedi and all that kind of stuff as well.
Nice. God bless the secret nerds who rule the world.
Yeah. Fodder.
Yeah?
I've watched. Did you watch the video that Umkunto linked to me in general chat a while back, where CGI artists react to the UFO sighting video thingies?
Doesn't ring a bell.
I watched a bunch of videos from them, and they showed how the Mandalorian was shot.
Uh-huh.
Holy motherfucking shit!
Nice.
They have like a holodeck, giant mega screen stage that they they project a 3D modeled environment onto it that they can dynamically change. So
Nice.
they actually capture the background on a screen, so they don't have to add the screen in CG, and it lights up the environments, and it's holy fuck, that's awesome.
Yeah, I need to watch that.
I need to watch that.
It uses the Unreal Engine, I think. It's
Yes,
it's technically like making a video game in the background.
Nice.
Sometimes the prop shop makes a crate or something, and they then 3D scan the crate, and the actual crate never gets used
Nice.
because it's all dynamically in the background. And if the director goes, oh no, that crate in red is way too shiny, it needs to be more subtle, they can change it to a grayish tone just by pressing a button on the freaking engine. It's super awesome.
Nice.
I don't think I finished season 1 even. I need to watch it.
Yes, you do. The flight director
Hey,
is
also-
telling us to keep climbing,
Oh no, your flight director is telling you to keep climbing.
as is the one on your side. But I am.
Watch my stream, it's perfectly centered.
Oh yeah.
I think that's because on Fodder's screen you have selected the flight level 500.
50,000, you mean? Yeah. Sorry, yeah. I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to touch it. We've also got half bank mode on again, but I'm not going to touch anything.
That's activating automatically once you get into cruise. It doesn't hurt until we get further down the line again. Because I didn't press that either.
Must be a it must be a crew passenger comfort thing.
Yeah, it switches
Definitely.
to Mach as well, automatically.
It didn't consent to it, but whatever.
Oh, ask him country. He knows ages of consent in all European
Oh,
countries.
that killed me.
I saw that conversation. I was like, yeah, nope, nope.
He referenced Germany, so I could not say nothing.
I remember the
Germany
last
is-
time. I remember the last time we had a discussion like that on Hogget, and yeah, no.
That
No.
one guy.
Fuck that.
I wouldn't do this conversation in Hogget.
Nope.
Yep.
In this case, it was that one guy. He ended up getting banned
Yo.
for something else, and I was the mod that then had to tell the supporters, that got to tell the supporters to calm their tits about it. That went over well.
Our Discord mods are doing a great job, actually.
I too believe
Everybody's
you.
doing a good job. Everybody's doing a good job.
The instructors as well, yeah.
Person, you're doing a great job. Thank you.
Supporters
course,
are
what
doing
you-
a great job mostly.
I think tomorrow I'm gonna do some Hind stuff, but what I'm also gonna do is a pass of the quarter slots.
Oh, I was gonna do one today, but I didn't find the time to.
And then I was like, come on, let's go flying!
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, yeah, that sounds more fun than editing a DCS mission for like half an hour. It's not that many. I can help you. We can do them together. It's like 10-ish slots and some to remove. And we need to remove the one that Lazy figured out is overhang thing.
Project.
I promised them to do them on the week, or not promised. I said I might do them on the weekend, but no. So
Ideally, we should probably check with Louch as well and see what he said and get those checked out, or like mark as complete as well. For
oh
Saw.
yes, there's some Saw ones. I'll talk to Lich tomorrow. Tomorrow when I get home, so 17:30 Blackbird time, around that area. I start doing pocket stuff. I also need to check out the Tribunal thing.
It's, I think Pops has sorted it.
Ah, okay, perfect. I saw like 6 pings, so I ignore target for the rest of the evening. It's always scary when there's a lot of pings. in short time.
That's always fun. Just turn up.
6 pings.
Turn up,
Fuck
ban the
that
last
shit.
3 people who chatted, and then go back to sleep. I swear, I've had 3 people try and Steam scam me lately. It's just glorious. And
Why
then,
would
and
they
then,
do that to the admin?
And then one of the guys, I said, I'm going to report you to Discord. I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to report you to Discord thingy. And he said, and then he went, but you're going to lose your Steam account. This is serious. I was like, oh my god, you're really doubling down.
You're believing what you say.
Upper descent is 17 minutes.
Yeah.
I think we're over the North Sea by now. It must be.
Lamzo $2. You could look that up. I don't have Navigraph.
I'm just, yeah, I'm fighting.
Yes, we're almost halfway through the channel. This one.
Nice.
Sadly, it seems like even while pushing it as far as the point where it'll shout at me, I'm still traveling ever so slightly slower than you guys.
We're doing Mach 0.818.
Yeah, mine starts shouting at me at like 784.
Yeah. Big boy plane go fast. Total fuel 2,725 at almost Lamzo. Does it say for Lamzo? Lamzo. Estimated fuel on board is 2,400. We have 2,700. Pretty much playing into our stuff. We took 400 extra, right? Perfect. You know what I'm really mad about? That it's not giving me the selected altitude on the HUD. It's giving me
Oh,
ground speed, V speed,
I forgot you have a HUD.
selected speed, wind, all the things, but not
Boy,
not
that
the
HUD would
selected
have been
altitude.
easier when I was trying to land.
Blackbird. Does it show
Yes.
it on your PFD?
It shows on the PFD, yes, on the top left, top right of
Is
it.
it? Is it a CRJ option that you need to select in the EFB? I thought that there was something about altitude, but maybe not.
There's
So
default
if you click it in the
arrow,
EFB, does it change it on fodders?
and no, I don't think so. There's unit selections, detents. There's hot. You can select different navates. You can couple VNav as a cheat mode. Performance, couple VNav, PFD, low speed awareness indicator, PFD speed trend vector, load sits and stars. Flight tech noises, low cost carrier. Hey, Fodder, we're not a low cost carrier. We didn't put the check mark for a low cost carrier. Perfect.
If we have sandwiches, that's what it changes.
Yeah.
You can set MFD map options altitude.
I'm just
And
waiting for
speed.
you tick the low cost carrier button and it says bing bong, just to let you know the cabin crew are now serving water.
Unfortunately, there are no sandwiches on this flight. Fly with Lufthansa to get some.
But thank you for flying Sabre Airways.
I technically don't need the HUD because I have the PFD pretty big on my screen here. In the top left where the the cockpit beam thing is. Oh, it does say at the top. Perfect. Just didn't recognize it. Down to 2000. Okay, our missed approach is gonna be heading 202.
Out to D2 IHS and then
Left turn onto Humberside and then right turn into traffic.
missed approach. Don't swear at me.
Is there an altitude we missed approach? Climb straight ahead to 1700 or DME2, whichever is greater. Then climb turn left to return to LCR 2000 or started. Okay. Goes down a little.
Okay, so top of descent. So FMS step R, set approach and star. Verify. ILS 20. E 1085. Local. Cool. Descent speed 290, Mach 0.74. Landing elevation set. Minimum set. VREF set. TCAS setting low.
Did you set the minimums?
I don't know. Where do I
Yeah.
You're
On
my
your
side. Father, go to your side, FMS, please. I need the
I am, yeah. I haven't touched yours ever.
direct page. Perfect.
Go on. Desert.
on your right diagonal panel,
My diagonal.
whatever it's called, where you'd spin your knobs for like zooming and stuff like that.
Yeah.
For it is. So you select either DH or MDA. Let's see. For the ILS, it is MDA. Then you'll spin it until it says 274 on your PFD.
Where am I looking? Where's that change?
It'll be
Oh.
below where it says 0000 right now for your selected altitude. When you spin that DH MDA knob, it should start displaying something.
Nope.
Oh.
Come on.
I'm gonna hop off.
See you later, dude.
See ya.
Later.
See ya.
Yeah, nothing.
Okay.
That's fine.
Really weird.
Minimum set.
Yeah. If you can get it working offline, when you're flying by yourself, that's where you set it.
Cool. TCAS is set to below.
Traffic alert. Ah. What a prick.
TCAS is fine. Okay, next is at 10,000 feet. We're about to go into the soup.
I'm gonna head off now as well. See ya.
Yeah.
Fun watching
See ya.
and talking.
Thanks for helping.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Fun.
What's our descent speed, Fodder?
Currently,
No. What is our target speed for the descent?
290, Mach 0.74.
You really need to be careful with that because scrolling flips it up, so you need to put your mouse to the side if you're zooming in.
What?
The HUD, you can scroll to bring it up or down.
I didn't touch it.
No. Look at this. If I'm scrolling to zoom,
Uh-huh.
it
Right,
flips
okay.
it. So I need to make sure I'm not over it with my mouse.
Cool. Bolus. Onto Supple. Outside temperature minus.
As long as you know the moisture, that shouldn't.
Well, I can't see the sky anymore. I have eye.
Hello, I have returned.
Hello, welcome back.
Hello.
We're in the descent.
Getting a little bumpy out here.
Do some of that pilot shit. We're on target for descent, according to the flight plan. I have. I've got Humberside ATIS set. Side ATIS set for when we get a bit closer.
I won't be able to hear it because it's a Microsoft Flight Simulator thing.
Okay. I have put it in the radios, so. Nice.
Yep. That's good.
Or if we need to put the wing ice on.
Nah, as long as we don't get another ice in the morning, we keep it off. That is reaching positives anyway. So,
Cool.
we're easy. Slow down to 250 knots so we don't break the speed barrier. 10,000.
Imagine having to listen to speed restriction.
It just calls it
Well,
on the
as a
radio.
German, I hate speed restrictions and we don't have any.
Exactly. Besides, isn't it uncontrolled airspace at the moment?
Oh yes, but we're practicing.
Ah.
We're not on Vetsim whatsoever. Not even on Unicom.
Okay, I've got the meta. Where do I set the weather for the rival airfield?
You don't. We don't have any auto brake or other stuff.
So, all right. Well, winds
Is it wet or not?
very wet. It's 181. Winds 181 for 37. Visibility 3. Heavy rain. Ceiling of 900. 29.75 for the altimeter.
Copy. We crossed 10,000.
Okay.
Landing
Descent
lights on.
speed 250. Landing and logo lights on. The transition's at 8,000 here, isn't it?
Yes, we can. Since we're clear to 2,000, just set Barrow. Gonna hit Bravo. There we go.
Okay. And we are on to approach.
Yeah, we're on 35 track miles to go.
Where did you see that?
On my FMS, went to the progress page.
Ah.
Ooh, we just got a big bump. Here.
What page was the V speeds thing on?
Direct page. I'm flying the banana right now.
Cool. Oh, hi, Herkins.
Hello.
Hello, Herkins.
We have flown Humberside to Muenster and Muenster to nearly at Humberside.
Nice.
Yeah. Full sim brief, full there and back. Next step will be doing something with
You really gotta control this aircraft a lot.
mm-hmm.
What are current track miles? 28.
28.
I have it on my. If you have the VNAV page
Yeah,
up,
I can see on
it
your
says it
page.
the top
Yeah, I
as
can
well.
see.
Yeah. So the next item is 20 miles to go.
25 nautical miles to go.
What was that?
It's going to be passenger signs on, thrust reversers arm, altimeter check local.
Okay. I have a little like flight bag tied to my chair with my checklist and my clipboard, and it's amazing. Love it.
That's on. Cross reverses, left and right arm.
Armed.
Okay. FMX radio page. Check ILS frequency. 108.75 is correct for yeah, correct. Cool.
Start slowing down.
Sure. $20 nautical miles to go. Slow to 200 knots. Hit airspeed.
Since we're still going down, slowing down is gonna be a little bit slower than usual.
I like how every time in the guide it says set throttle to maintain speed. Every single time it says that, it says there is no auto thrust.
Yeah. I'm gonna circle us to the right here a little bit because either way the turn left onto the runway would be very steep. Just simulating vectors at this point.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to land. Please note that
Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to land.
this is a normal procedure for a nighttime landing.
1,000 to go.
Roger. I have probably we're flying over my house. Ah.
So, how do I switch FMS source again?
On your right
Nav
hand
source slider.
nav
Yes, yes.
source.
Okay. Alt capture.
Anything with approach mode yet?
No, not yet.
My altimeter says
15 miles to go.
Roger. 15 miles to go. 15 miles to go. Slow to 160. Flaps 1 at 190. 2 at 180. 3 at 160.
Flaps on. Flaps 2. That's your job for her.
Is it? Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Flaps 2. Flaps 3.
Flaps 3. I am calling it out, and you're putting the actual flaps up and down.
Cool. So, final localizer intercept course. Check nav source switched from FMS to nav 1. Autopilot
Look.
approach on.
Log 1 arm approach.
Approach is armed.
Intercepting localizer. Put us on heading. I'm putting us on heading again.
Cool.
Getting a little slow. Fuck. Now into approach mode. Localizer. Flashing. Alt cap, localizer 1.
Okay. Next action's at glide slope capture. Oh.
What are you doing? Oh, lights. Yes.
I did call them. I was like, it's dark outside. Oh.
Are we on the correct localizer? Did we check?
108.75 is what it's asked for. And we are
Yeah,
on.
we're on that.
Feeling of 900 feet. We're okay.
Okay, glide slope capture, gear down.
Down.
And flaps full.
Oh. Flaps full. Ref plus 10.
Ref plus 10. Localizer capture.
What's VREF again?
Our approach speed, basically.
Right.
Reference speed. It's gonna be 1 at 36, so 146 is what I want to be.
Oh no, now we're descending.
Yeah, we're ending up way high again.
Classic CRJ.
It's gonna bring us down, that's fine.
Yeah.
How many miles?
Pardon?
How many miles ago?
Not many. It's gonna bring us down. We know what the go around is if we really need. Ceiling's at 900. Plenty of.
What's minimums for approach?
A number. Stand by.
274 barrel.
Yeah.
Imagine not being able to do more than 500 foot a minute negative landing.
You can, just once. 1,000.
Perfect. Plenty of time to see the runway, he says. We're on glide slope, on localizer.
I just saw a light move below me. Yeah, I can see houses. What is it with you and landing in storms, Blackbird?
I don't know. I didn't pick this. This patch has something for me.
But that's fun though. This is the best kind of landing there is.
I'm not complaining.
Yeah. Trust the autopilot. Remember, it's going to disconnect at some point as well automatically. 500.
500.
I see Pappy lights dead ahead.
Yeah, runway in sight. Continue.
Oh man, that's intense.
Autopilot off, manual control.
Roger.
Voila. Getting a little bumpy.
Sync rate.
Ah, fuck the sync rate.
100.
Got it. Come right if able.
Good.
Right, for lineup.
40. 30.
Power.
reversers.
At
We're going
least a 2-wire. At least a 2-wire right there.
I don't have reverse response, lol. I didn't do myself.
Okay, we're down, we're safe, we're cool.
Down and safe. After landing checklist, please.
Stand by. Spoilers, retract. Flaps, retract. Flaps retracting. Taxi lights on. Landing lights off. Strobe light off. Probes left and right off.
Keep the strobes and the landing lights on until we're off the runway. We need to turn around on the runway now.
Yep.
Because of
Please remain seated
weirdness in the
until the
airport.
aircraft has come to a complete stop.
Why can't I turn right?
Is the steering armed?
Yeah, it is. It's not letting me turn right for some reason. Need some more thrust. There we go. Ran into the Hornet problem of not having enough speed for the full deflection of the thing. Just put on some right braking here.
Honda is in standby.
There's probably a turnaround point somewhere at the end, but I don't want to go all the way to the end.
Probably be surprised.
Humberside ground, Sabre 62 Sierra Alpha Bravo 62, request taxi to parking.
Okay, cross 08, off at Alpha, cross runway 8, cross runway 0, Alpha Delta. Okay, cool. So straight down.
This is so weird,
What?
having a runway that doesn't have taxiway going alongside of it.
It's an old small ex-military field.
Oh, I see. There even is a grass taxiway. That
Mhm.
would be good if we would get off at Echo here. We'd
And-
go onto a grass taxiway.
Straight down. After this,
Alpha.
left onto Alpha. Left onto Alpha. Yes, yes.
Onto Alpha.
And then Delta's in front.
Taxiing to General Aviation parking via taxiway cross runway 08, cross
Oh.
runway 02, Alpha Delta Sabre 62 Sierra Alpha Bravo 62.
Basically, find yourself a parking spot. Terminal buildings on the right underneath the tower.
Copy. Turn off strobes and landing lights, please.
Yeah. Everything else is good to go. APU's on. Cool.
Yeah, we're not parked yet.
I see a marshalling. Oh no.
What is this?
Okay.
We'll just park here.
Okay, parking shut down. Parking brakes set.
Set.
Throttles shut off. Ice protection off. Passenger signs off. Fuel boost off.
Oh.
And off.
Yep.
Nozzle steering off. Locks and doors.
Aircraft, trucks in place, doors open.
Locks and doors. IRS off. Emergency lights off. Done. Hydraulics 1, 3A, 3B, 2 off. External lights off. APU start stop off. APU power fuel off.
I can see it.
Alt L gets your torch.
That one. Yeah.
Internal lights off. Battery off. Boom.
That was nice.
Good job, boys.
So
Good
what we've
job.
learned is gear down on the approach. Gear down first, then
Gear down
flaps
first, throttle to idle,
Flaps.
descend, get it into the descent, then at one type of flaps.
Mhm.
Not go from when we were going from flaps 3 to flaps 5.
Mhm.
We need to go flaps.
Cool. Good game, guys. Good game. I'm gonna clip that approach. And I'm gonna send that to the guy who works Humberside and be like, I see no problem here. Ah, that was cool. That was cool. Woo. Yeah, that was good fun. And Kip's LinkedIn. Have you seen Galaxy Quest, Blackbird? So Sigourney, it's a really good film. Sigourney Weaver is like the second officer on a spaceship, and all she does is repeat the whatever the computer says. She repeats it, and she has this rant where she goes, "I've got one job on this spaceship. It's stupid, but I'm gonna do it." And that's how I co-pilot. Whew, that was cool. And then I go, yeah, but it was the time thing. So I go 1,000. Sorry, the computer says 1,000. I go 1,000, and Blackbird goes 1,000. It's like, but the time it takes to say that, we're already 800. Yeah, it was good fun. Yeah, and I streamed the whole thing.